What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the basement. We got Chris, our favorite rocket scientist ninja. We got Cheezeburger Pete and myself. Well, guys, we got a great show for you tonight. We're going to talk about Aftershocks Oberon, Dark Horse's The Girl in the Bay. DC gives us female Furies and Man and Superman. Dynamite's got Peter Cannon, Thunderbolt. IDW's G.I. Joe, Sierra Muerte. Image's Vindication, and Marvel's got Age of X-Men, The Marvelous X-Men, Daredevil, Old Man Quill, The Gunhawks, and the new Uncanny X-Men sees the return of Cyclops and Wolverine. Again. We also have some trailers we're going to talk about. The Pet Sematary, Child's Play, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark drops on Sunday.
Yes!
Love it. Grab your drinks, grab whatever it is you're sipping on, and join us. Happy Friday, everybody. We're going to be finishing off this Johnny Walker White Label.
A little spicy.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's got
something
a little heat to it.
Christmassy.
And we're sorry that suddenly we couldn't be on yesterday. The gas company made a complete mess of the basement. They had to put a hole in my wall. And to get at it, they had to move all of the fucking comics and shit that are down here that are really getting like sold on eBay and shit. So I walked down here and, you know, nothing was stolen, nothing was broken, but everything was everywhere in order to put a 6x9 hole in my wall to get at the gas lines.
I still don't understand that.
Yeah, and basically I came down here and it looked like a tornado hit it.
Yeah. I said it looked like a rhino came through, which is why I posted a picture of the rhino yesterday. And make sure, if you're watching this on YouTube, that you stay after the credits, because I'm going to show you the video that I sent to the boys that said, okay, guys, show's on Friday this week. And if you're watching this now live, Facebook and Periscope, make sure you go and watch it on YouTube so you can stay till after the credits and watch and see what the basement looks like. And actually, I'm not sure, but I think that might be the very first look at the rest of the basement you've ever gotten.
They did a flash once. They're like,
very quick, but like this time I actually kind of show you what the fuck is around there. And mind you, it's a mess, and everything down here was like, you know, for sale and everything. So I'm not, you know, this is not the collection. Ramon said it best. Down here is the show. Upstairs is the museum. That's Pete's penthouse. Difference.
Yes. And boy, is that a museum.
Thank you, sir.
You know,
I do try.
Like honestly, like to the point where like I think the next, like whenever you have guests over, you're going to have to hire a tour guide.
It really
it's not a bad idea.
Maybe get Maria to do it. I don't know.
It reminds me of the Keaton Batman, where you're walking through the house.
Oh yeah, and Alexander Knox is like
King of the Wicker People.
Nice.
Where'd you get that one from? I bought it in Japan.
Let's see. Absolute said, my friend's apartment flooded last week. Talk about a disaster. That sucks.
Oh, I feel their pain. Yeah. I know what happened when this thing flooded, and it floods many times.
Indeed.
Yeah.
That was another real. I was like, shit. At the very least, I got to get the boxes off the floor, just in case, because it poured last night.
Right. Yeah.
But
I forgot about that.
Guys, make sure you go and watch it on YouTube. Check out the first look at what the rest of the basement looks like, and if you're watching it on YouTube, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Like the videos and hit the little bell so you know when you get new videos uploaded from the basement. And another point to on that note is we are going to begin the very slow transfer of all of the Pete's Basement Extras videos onto the main channel. Simply because Pete's Basement Extras doesn't get nearly enough attention, and it never really did. So I'm just gonna forego that, and I'm gonna bring everything over slowly but surely.
We'll have the rocket launch on there now.
We will have the rocket launch on the main channel.
There you go.
So look forward to that. So that you're gonna want to make sure that you get notifications every time we upload a video. So make sure that you subscribe, and immediately thank you to all of the patrons who have joined the Patreon. You guys are so awesome. Thank you so much. The Patreon is growing and growing. And remember, when we hit that milestone of 100 a month, we're going to take off all of the ads on YouTube, so you don't have to deal with that nonsense.
Yeah.
We're going to take off our pants at 150, 200?
Okay. 200.
200,
200, yeah.
That'll be the pantsless episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the news anchor episode.
Because I don't know if you've seen, but YouTube does this really annoying thing where they put ads in the middle of videos now.
Oh,
no,
that's the worst.
I paid
Facebook
up
does it too.
for that.
Facebook does it too.
Oh, you do? You pay for the premium?
Yeah, because first of all, I wanted to see Cobra Kai.
Yeah, fair enough.
Right.
But
Okay.
yeah, I just
It's so fucking annoying, man. It really is. Like, I'm trying. They even do it in music videos. Like, if your video goes past, I don't know, 3-4 minutes, I'm sitting there trying to watch an Iron Maiden shit, and all of a sudden I've got, this is Wiki or something like that. Shut the hell up. Or whatever. Like, build your website on Wix. Shut the fuck up, dickheads.
the worst is when you have it like synced to something and you're playing music, and then all of a sudden it switches over. You ever have that unfresh feeling in the morning?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And screw you for knowing that.
That's usually when it's time to take a shower.
Exactly.
Hey,
And we're back to bacon.
and Sean Cadu says TikTok is the worst. I don't fucking know. Absolute says, "Oh, good. Pete listens to Iron Maiden. We'll get along great in the car." I wonder if you're being sarcastic or not.
Oh, no, I love... As long as I can understand it, I love heavy metal.
Yes.
As I draw the line at, like, Slayer, really. It's just, I can't get them.
I don't know, but like, what was that thing on Adult Swim with the guys that they pull all these guitars from like some great bands, but the lead singer just does like the gore, like.
Oh, it's Death Clock. They did what's Metalocalypse. Yeah, Metalocalypse. That's the.
And he's got like the guitarist from. Oh, good lord! Enter the Sandman is
Metallica.
Metallica.
Yeah, Metallica.
Yeah.
Kirk Hammett or James Hetfield.
I think Kirk Hammett.
Okay. Well, James Hetfield is actually starring in a film.
Really?
Actually.
Like a film? Like a regular movie?
Like an actual movie. Like
that's
he plays I think he plays like a sheriff. I forget exactly what the
So
concept
no music
is.
involved.
I mean, there might be. Excuse me,
I gotta pick up my guitar.
I can't imagine that he wouldn't have contributed at least like a solo song.
I love it if he did like Desperado or something like that.
I would love to hear Metallica do Desperado.
That would be sick.
James, if you're watching, it's a request. I'd like to hear you guys do my absolute favorite Eagles song ever.
That really is a beautiful song.
Yes,
it sends chills down my spine.
It's a
every
great
time I
song.
hear it.
So I'm gonna cop to it. I was actually saying Desperado the movie, but that was an even better jump in.
Yeah.
Like I'm just thinking like Metallica doing
Like a mariachi kind of thing?
fuck yeah.
All right, interesting.
They almost did that to a certain extent. Almost. Yeah. Kate says, Eagles Desperado? Hell yes. Sean Kaju says, Cliff Burton surprise. Too soon, dude.
Oh, man.
Too soon. Kate says she loves the S&M album. Why does that not surprise me?
I was at that concert.
Really?
Yeah, it was amazing.
No shit.
Truly amazing.
Wow.
And
dude,
I always like to
bastard.
tell the story of when, because there was only 2 concerts. There was
It was San Francisco.
San Francisco,
and New
thank you,
York.
and New York.
Yes.
And in Frisco, when you watch the videos and everything, because that's where the album was recorded.
Yep.
When they're doing the Memory Remains, and they get to the part where Marion Folkworthy or whatever her name was.
Marianne Faithful.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
She has to do that. Nah, 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 nah. Yeah. They have to tell the audience, sing it for us, sing it for us. They didn't have to tell us shit. We were on point, man. They did that in the beginning of the second act, and by then all of the weed and all the alcohol had fully kicked in.
Yes.
You're all artists at that point.
You have not
you're part
lived
of the band at that point. Yeah.
It's like Peter Griffin when he's on.
The acoustics in Madison Square Garden, and when you hear however many it holds, what's capacity, like 30,000?
No, I think it gets close to 100,000.
No, it's not that big. It's not like a football stadium. It's like I think it maybe tops out at 50, but I think it's like somewhere around 35. But when you hear 35,000 people singing every word to every song, because we didn't shut up for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
We were just with them the whole... God, the energy in the room, man. It's so amazing.
It's palpable.
I got a piece of that.
It's literally palpable.
I watched Sting all by himself just doing the guitar for Message in a Bottle. And after like the first stanza, he's like, this is easy. I don't need to do anything. He was just playing the guitar and everybody was singing in the audience.
Yeah.
That's cool.
People doing that. Yeah.
Man.
He knew every lyric, when to stop, and he was yeah.
So, first of all, right out of the gate, Endgame is supposed to be 3 hours long. 3 plus hours with the credits.
Close to 4.
I say, yeah. So the question circulating around the internet is intermission or no intermission? Do you hold your pee or not?
Be a man.
I have the ability. I know we've discussed this personally within our little group.
Within our little thread, the Pete's
Within
Basement
our little thread.
Group, our little sewing
Our little book club. It's just so nice.
Yes.
Kind of is a book club.
Yes, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
With boobies mixed in there.
Yeah, exactly. Because, I mean,
But
a
those
bunch of
come
guys.
from books, too.
They do.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
If the interweb was a book.
I still have that uncanny ability to just like if I strategize correctly, I don't have to get up a single time, even through a 3-hour film.
I have gotten to the point where
stay up the whole
I have to go to the bathroom right as the trailers start.
Yeah.
So then I run out and then I come back just in time for the movie, and now I'm good for like the next 2 to 2.5 hours. But I can't drink nothing. I can't have nothing with me, like no popcorn, no soda, no nothing.
Yeah.
I just get pretzels. They drown me out. I'm good.
Can't do it. So I vote for intermission. I'm all for a 10, 15-minute intermission.
Sure. That's
Absolutely.
kind of it acts like a classy's the wrong word, but like it brings us back to like the
Old school movie going. Yeah.
Like I'm thinking of God, Lawrence of Arabia.
Okay. I never saw that.
In its original letterbox format?
Yeah. God. That's actually probably more appropriate for now.
Grindhouse. Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched the intermission because they like any good intermission, you have
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
But they also did the exposition of all the music in the films.
Oh, cool.
Really?
So
Okay.
I just love the experience of listening to music in a theater.
So you didn't go to the bathroom during the intermission?
No, my wife did, and she's like, "Thanks for ruining an hour and a half of my life. I'll be right back."
Which one was first? Death Touch, right? Death Race?
Death Proof.
Death Proof.
No, actually, when I saw it, it was Planet Terror first. Death Proof.
Yeah, they
I didn't like Death Proof. I liked Planet Terror, though.
I like Death Proof better than because I love the black one was like, "Motherfucker brings a knife to a fight, gets shot."
Yeah, I love Rosario Dawson.
The only guy who ever
great.
won bringing a knife to a gunfight was Tom Jane in The Punisher.
Yeah.
When he had the little spring-loaded knife and it went into the dude's throat.
God, and I'm not sorry they replaced him as the Punisher, but he was awesome.
I agree.
He did make a great Punisher.
I thought he was great. I loved that movie. I really did.
They should bring him back as Darkhawk.
And I love, like, I'd only seen this finally in its entirety recently. Thank you, Mackenzie. But I love that he made a cameo appearance in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, oh shit, the vegan police.
Yeah.
Just such a great
once
touch.
were
Such a
vegan,
great touch.
but
Did
now
you ever
you're
see
vegan or whatever?
Did you ever see that YouTube short Laundry Day?
No. I don't
Where
think I
he's
have.
in the laundromat, he's doing his shit.
Yeah.
And some kid's getting like jumped by these guys, so he goes out and fucks them all up.
But not at first.
No.
He's like, fuck, this is fucking up my laundry day. Literally was just like, God damn it.
So after he's done, like, he hands the kid the Punisher shirt and then walks away.
Oh, funny. That's great.
And that was his, like, bid to be in Warzone, which even with him in it wouldn't have made a difference. Because Ray Stevenson was a great Punisher. But that movie's awful.
Right.
Jigsaw
Yeah,
was
that's what I
ridiculous.
heard. That's what I heard.
However, he looked better than Ben Barnes.
No, but I like how they downplayed it. Because then they could say that it's not Jigsaw. Do one of those.
Yeah, but it's too much. Like... He should have had more scars at the very least. I understand Ben Barnes is a pretty boy, and I'm not saying that he's a pretty boy. I'm saying he's a good-looking dude, and you don't want to fuck his face up too much.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I get it. The whole Jigsaw in his mind thing. I watched the series, but I wanted more scars. I did.
I like the minimalism. It reminded me of the Batman the Animated Series. Same thing, like with Two-Face.
Two-Face,
wasn't
right.
a lot to him.
No, it wasn't. But it was enough.
I read something where they said it was to not offend people with scars or whatever.
Yeah.
I honestly think maybe they didn't have the budget for that amount of makeup every single shoot.
Or just it might have just
possible,
been
but
Disney checking out.
doing
because
those
they knew
kinds
they were
of
moving over.
prosthetics though is small.
It's got to be a pain in the ass, though. It's got to be like 5 hours worth of makeup to put all that shit on.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Maybe.
And he was in the show a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
Which you would know if you ever watched it.
Shut the fuck up! I'm getting to it. Somebody actually said earlier that they should have made Werewolf Women of the SS an actual film.
Oh my God.
Actually, getting back to the Grindhouse really briefly, I think between that and Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
those two should have been fucking movies.
When he was fucking the old grandma, it was now a turkey.
Yeah.
Did they
Yeah.
do Machete in Space?
Yes, they did. No, they're
No.
trying to get it done.
Okay, because I know that I saw a trailer for one, and I'm waiting for.
do the Machete films based off of that.
Well, it's Danny Trejo.
Because it's Danny Trejo, of course. You know,
awesome.
but still, just absolutely.
And I like Steven Seagal in that because I like anybody. Like, he's got a sense of humor.
That guy is incredible. Everybody always like sees him as second tier, but he really is incredible.
I agree.
Yeah.
So speaking of Ben Barnes, I don't know if you guys have seen, but they've been going through a bunch of like fan casting for the new Batman movie.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
And Ben Barnes was actually one of them that was up for it. I don't mind him so much.
A lot of people are poo-pooing, but I like Robin Pattinson. Or whatever the fuck his name is.
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Defend that.
He's got the weird.
But he doesn't have... I'm sorry, he's got that Twilight stink all over him.
I know, but
which she's trying to get rid of, according to...
Well, tough shit.
But he's not like fucking Harry Potter. You know, he doesn't have that sort of like boyishness to him. He's if you look at him, and if you've seen that one movie where he was in a limo the whole time, he's grown out of the whole series. In any case, if you look at his face, just from a visual standpoint, he's got that weird tone that Keaton had in the first film.
Right.
And I think from
which I absolutely love.
Yeah,
I watched him in another movie. He was like an ex-soldier in a wheelchair or something. I forget what the flick was.
he can act. I mean, he's got the gravitas. He can pull it off.
But I don't think he can get around that for another mainstream movie.
That's the sad part about it is because
you're typecast now.
He got typecast.
If you want to get rid of the vampire stink,
and he has been pretty vocal about saying how much he hated actually doing those movies.
I can't blame him for that.
Listen, I'll never knock him for it because
paycheck's a paycheck.
Exactly, a paycheck is a paycheck.
Do you follow Anna Kendrick on Twitter?
No, I don't.
You really need to because she's hilarious.
Really, I love her.
She posts.
Awesome.
I don't know, maybe like a month ago. The tweet just read, "Holy shit! I just remembered I was in Twilight." But
she was also in Scott Pilgrim.
If Robert Pattinson wants to get rid of the vampire stink,
she was the sister.
The sister, yeah.
I think he needs to be in the next Blade movie and have Blade kill him. Then we're good.
Yes,
we're good to go from there.
Robert Pattinson, if you're listening, try to make that happen.
Yeah,
that would be honestly. I think you would gain the
TV
respect
show.
Of
every single person will accept you from here on in.
Yes. So just have Midnight Suns and he'd be Morbius and they get the shit kicked out.
I would totally accept him as Morbius.
Yes,
100%
Absolutely, do it. And get Spider-Man
then,
involved because that's where he debuted.
And then his contract gets released, so then he can do a DC movie.
Yeah.
Honestly, Eric Bana was also being fan cast as this, but I don't. No.
I've had enough of him. Unfortunately, I mean, like the guy, but just no. Like he's had his toes dipped into too many mega franchises at this point.
From a studio marquee value sort of look, they would probably look at Pattinson and say, well, he's successful over a franchise, so that could work with a Batman film franchise.
Right.
He does have appeal to a certain genre that we're trying to hit, which is 18 to 24, both men and women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then on top of that, it's not stretched to go from vampire to Batman.
Right. Well, I can buy a youthful or very young Batman, but based on what they've already done in the movies, and I know because it's DC, continuity doesn't mean fuck all.
Not anymore. Now they're doing that's they just you'll probably get this Batman and maybe another sequel if it does good.
Right.
And that's it. Then they'll move on.
I miss Batfleck. I really do.
I do too, but
I miss Batfleck, and I haven't even seen the movies that he's been in.
He just needed
aside
one
from
director.
The final fan cast that I believe it was Boss Logic who was doing a bunch of these,
which
goes back to John Hamm.
Fucking phenomenal.
John Hamm as Batman, without question. He's a perfect Bruce Wayne.
Nope.
He's got the look.
Nope. He doesn't have the alter ego. He can't. There's no crazy. So there's the whole thing.
Have you watched Mad Men?
No.
No, I haven't. But
you would get a glimpse of the crazy.
There's a crazy, but a misogynist crazy. There's a different level of crazy.
Well, true.
In the way that Batman is portrayed in some of the comics, like Frank Miller.
Yeah.
Sort of way. And I always liked with Batman animated series, Kevin Conroy, the way he played it. there was really a dichotomy between the two.
You don't know how much I wish he had the look to be Batman.
Totally.
Yeah, without a doubt. Because
he
he's
should
got
be
the
like
voice.
Batman's mentor. Or
Something.
like that.
He could be Henry Ducard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in.
Fuck it.
Kate said
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
as Batman, please.
That I will sign
But
up
no,
for.
he's got to be Thomas Wayne Batman. They need to do the Flashpoint Batman movie, and he's got to be Thomas Wayne, and then bring back Lauren Cohen to be the Joker and be done with it. Ooh. Yes, bring her back as Martha Wayne and let her be the Joker. Done.
Yeah, I wonder if Matt McConaughey could pull it off.
I think Matthew McConaughey could do just about anything,
Yeah,
given the right circumstances.
Well, between him and Bradley Cooper at this point, they can do it.
I like Bradley Cooper a lot.
Cooper would be a good Batman.
I can't believe he got snubbed on the whole Oscar shit.
I couldn't believe that
Again?
either. I was like, you gotta be fucking shitting me.
Homeboy brings his mom to the Oscars, man. You gotta respect that.
Seriously. And also, I mean, the job that he's done. I haven't even seen the goddamn movie.
No, I heard
But
nothing
the
but good
job
shit
that he
about
did
it.
with A Star Is Born is supposed to be nothing short of phenomenal.
Hmm?
And I know the movie's been remade 3 times. I don't give a fuck. You have him singing duets with Lady Gaga, who is extremely talented.
But
I'll give you that. She is talented.
maybe the bar went lower because you just watched her and looked at her like, oh, I can't look away. It's like,
She's not pretty.
no.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
He's pretty. She's not.
Yeah.
He's prettier than she
It
is.
didn't balance out.
Fair.
Yeah.
Then again, neither was Streisand, so it's even.
Nothing
Well,
against her, but-
see, thank you, because that was the argument I was going to make, because, Streisand was never, even in her heyday, was never really a looker, in my opinion.
No.
But, Gaga, I
Can you hear me?
Tommy, can you hear me?
You get better broads on Hevermeyer Street. So, did any of you guys see the Pet Cemetery trailer? The
No.
new shit?
I didn't even know that it was out.
Yeah, I didn't know
I
that
wanted to sleep, so I didn't watch it.
dude, it looks sick, and it's a different twist on the movie or the story. The original story was the family
run
moves
over,
in, and the little kid gets run over. Gage, but it's
Still-
not the kid this time. It's the
I
daughter.
can see that where they run, the running. He runs in to get his ball, and the truck goes over him.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, as a father now, this should really impact you.
Between that and the fucking Candyman cutting off that kid's dick,
I don't remember that.
yeah, you blocked it out.
Yeah, I did.
He wanted to show.
They're supposed to be Jordan Peele is supposed to be redoing Candyman too at some point,
yeah.
but there's no
Really?
details yet.
Yeah.
And Tony Todd needs to make at least a cameo. I would love to see him as the Mortician again from Final Destination.
Yeah.
Well, speaking
That
of
was
Jordan
such a cute
Peele, I
nod.
love that he's hosting new Twilight Zone stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's a nice touch.
But Pet
cool.
Sematary looks sick.
Okay.
John Lithgow he's taking Fred Gwynn's place as
Nice.
the old man and everything.
Okay. Yeah.
So they seem to be leaning toward some sort of monster in the woods and not just a cursed ground, which
Pumpkinhead.
was. Pumpkinhead was a dope flick, and that shit's on Amazon Prime. Y'all can go watch that for free if you got Prime. So the girl comes back and she's maybe 6, 7, 8 years old, whatever it is.
It's a girl now.
The daughter, the little baby is alive. The daughter is the one that gets killed by the truck. And the one particular scene that they show is John Lithgow is going up the stairs and he's looking around, and then the girl comes up from underneath the stairs with the razor blade and just goes for his foot, and you're like, oh, it's still in there. Oh, it's still in there. And you if you don't get chills at that scene, fuck, you're not human. You have no sensation.
Yeah. Achilles tendon. Not
That's
fun.
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I had that happen to me.
Did you catch the Child's Play trailer?
My father blew out both of his Achilles tendons, one in consecutive years. Each one, he blew out one, and then he blew out the
Now
other.
you got to stop
Played
with that
softball.
because I got one left. I want to keep it that way.
He's still playing softball. God bless him.
No, yeah. I mean, I've got a 10% loss. That's about it. It's one of these. Once in a while, I trip. That's
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Crazy shit.
Yeah.
On
It's not.
shrooms?
It is not fun.
What's that?
On shrooms?
Basic, if you don't know what
It's
happens
always
when
about
you
drugs with you. God damn it.
No.
if you don't know what happens when you rupture your Achilles tendon,
No, I don't, mercifully.
Your calf muscle
Folds.
rolls.
Yes,
no,
I
yeah,
did,
it
yeah.
rolls up like
Yeah.
Like
shade.
blinds in a
Yeah.
fucking Looney Tunes shit.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what happens.
Exactly what happened. They had
Yeah,
to
and it just
reach
bu-
all the way up and grab it and pull it
Yeah,
down.
basically, my dad's calf just balled up to the size of a fucking grapefruit.
That's nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I walked home after it happened.
yeah.
That was weird.
Oh,
I just thought all right, I must have pulled a muscle. I'm like,
yeah. He told me that one of the when he did the second one, he was actually playing racquetball because it was off season for softball. He was already done with the Snowflake League, and he was waiting for the return off of a serve, and he heard a gunshot, and the ball didn't come. It was like, oh fuck, I have to go to the hospital. I was like, wow, that's what happens when the tendon ruptures. You just hear a loud pop.
I have a
Sounds
question.
Like a gunshot.
What exactly is the Snowflake League? Is that one where nobody strikes out and everybody gets a first place trophy at the end of the season?
No, not
Just
that
curious.
kind. Not that.
Mr. Incredible.
It's only called the Snowflake League because it's played in the fall and early winter.
Snowflake.
Oh.
It's done by I think like mid-November, early December.
Well, that's horrible.
For everybody except for the extremely hardcore softball players like my father.
It's like the polar bear swim.
I mean,
Yeah, pretty much.
at that point, if you're not playing softball with a ball wrapped in barbed wire, you're just not even fucking playing. Go home.
And he wonders why his Achilles tendon snapped off.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, the ball hit it.
Why not just call it the Winter League? Because they don't play in winter. They're smart. Ish.
Feh. Did you guys
You
see
heard it
the...
here first, folks. I got fed.
Yeah, you
by
did.
Pete.
Did you guys see the Child's Play trailer?
No.
Nope.
Okay.
Also, didn't know that came out.
yeah, I had no
I knew
idea
it
they
was.
were making...
I knew it was in the works, but I didn't.
I saw
realize.
only like the little image of Chucky, and he looks normal in this.
Okay.
Like he doesn't look, like
fucked
crazy
up.
Chucky and shit.
He
And
looks
how we...
fuckable? Is that what it is?
I'm just gonna leave that alone. Like, you know how Chucky started to look with all the scars and everything, like later on in the movies.
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem like this is a criminal who is infusing his soul into the body of a doll. Give me the power, I beg of you. That doesn't look like it's happening. It looks
That's just 280s.
it's far too 80s.
Yes.
It looks like it's much more 2000s with a robot that goes crazy, AI that goes nuts. At least that's the impression I'm getting from the first trailer.
Okay.
It's Boston Dynamics with a face.
Yes. This is what's going to happen to all those fuckers at Boston Dynamics.
God.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, just YouTube that shit.
Yeah.
They are
I'm
making
not-
robots that run and jump and
Open doors.
shift side to side because they see an obstacle, like a log in their way.
Yeah, not just like shift side to side, but like bounce from one block to another block. And then
Balancing
back.
on the one foot to go back and forth. Like, soon they're going to have these sons and bitches doing American
sprints.
Ninja Warrior.
Wind
when
sprints.
they can skin a chicken with one shot, that's the end for humans.
Yeah. And we will have deserved every moment of it.
Oh yeah, like McGuire's already emailed all of his robot overlords and begged their forgiveness and wants to join.
I think that's a smart move.
he did it all in Fortran too.
I'll sell out the human race to a bunch
that's
of
funny.
robots. I'm fine with it.
That's funny. Yeah.
Totally cool with it.
Kate
Aubrey
wants to
Plaza's the
know-
mother in Child's Play, so I'm totally down for seeing it.
Oh yeah.
Who was one of them?
Aubrey Plaza?
Aubrey
The girl
Plaza.
from Parks and Rec? The weird one?
All I can think is Anna Faris.
No.
Well, not her.
And then
The one with the
why
brunette with the really
Chris
big
Pratt-
eyes?
What?
The brunette with the really big eyes? From
Negative. I don't watch Parks
No,
and Rec.
she's a cutie.
She is cute. She's cute in an odd way.
Yes.
Kendrick, cute.
I
Yes.
also think she's cute.
Yes.
But much less of an angular face.
you know what? I didn't really get the book on Anna Kendrick until I really saw her in The Accountant.
No,
Oh,
yeah,
I didn't see
She's
that shit yet.
phenomenal in that. She's
like-
adorable in that.
because she's
movie.
like half of.
Ben Affleck?
She's a half Fleck. I mean, like he would just came off of Batman. He's like in his suit, and she's like, "Hi,
I'm gonna
brought
just
your mouse slippers for you."
I'm gonna just put my man card on the table for a second, and I'll freely admit I loved her in Pitch Perfect. Sue me.
Nah,
fair enough.
It's a good movie.
except for the fat chick.
The fat chick is hilarious.
She's
She
hilarious,
makes,
but
yeah, from what I've heard, she makes. Those
She
movies.
really does.
She needs her
They
own
call
film.
her Fat Amy, and she's
I
like,
agree with that.
She's,
I will agree with
they
that.
introduce her.
British-
she's like, "What's your name?"
it's
She's
British
like,
chick.
"I'm Fat Amy," and they're like, "Well, why do you call yourself that?" It's like, "Cause twig bitches like you don't do it behind my back." Like, well done. And I seen her on a few talk
Oh, shit,
shows.
Greg is
She's
on.
hilarious.
Greg's watching.
What's up, Greg? How's Pure Prairie League going?
Yeah, Sean Cadu says Rebel Wilson's funny as shit. That's
Rebel Wilson.
She is hilarious.
First time I saw her was the security guard in Night of the Museum.
First
Yes!
time I saw her was in Bridesmaids, and she cracked me the fuck up.
She was in Bridesmaids, that girl?
Was it Bridesmaids or was it
You might be thinking of the broad from
wasn't.
Mike and Molly.
No, that's
McCarthy.
yeah, Melissa McCarthy. But no, she's also in that movie.
Yeah.
She's a very small part, I believe.
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
I just remember Melissa McCarthy shitting in the sink.
She was Rebel Wilson was
after the Mexican dinner with
was
her.
what's her name's
So
roommate.
fucking funny. No, it was the Chinese buffet.
You know, I'm conflating two things because at the rocket launch we have Mexican. And it's like this is probably not a good idea before a rocket launch.
No, it's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We were alright though.
yeah, but
Bridesmaids was
she had a
fucking
smaller
hilarious.
part in Bridesmaids.
I don't remember that.
But whatchamacallit? Kate wanted to know how was the 300th episode of Supernatural, or are we getting to that later?
No. No reason to really review that.
no.
Nobody here to talk about it with. It was good.
Whoa.
It was a bit. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't want to bore you guys going into
By
my own.
bore, do you mean drill into us?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yes. I just like get some of those like drill hands, like Devastators
Tickle our
got.
organs.
Like Devastators got. It's kind of funny that you mentioned drill hands because he came with those
I'm
accessories.
just thinking of Icy Hot from the other day.
No, it was good. It was a good episode. A little heart wrenching and everything.
Remember me.
It was a little quick. There's like 15 minutes left, and I'm like, yo, are they gonna make this a two-parter? What's happening here? So it was it was less epic, holy shit, 300th episode as it was just. That was nice. That was well done.
It's like
Very well done.
Simpsons 300 sort of idea.
It was it was quaint. It was family oriented. It was good.
What a fucking career to nail 15 years
Yeah.
of work. You know?
Yeah,
Seriously,
and for a lot of people,
a show that they
really
thought.
flew under the radar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
For
like,
including myself.
it's like
but-
Stargate. Stargate was the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, still 10 years later, it had like still the micro budget that it had.
Right.
They didn't think this show was going to last past like 1 or 2 seasons. Actually, they finished it off with 2 seasons, kind of 3.
It's like a
And
Buffy
then
the
they kept
Vampire
going with it
Slayer.
when they got the okay for the 5 seasons. And then if the story finished off at 5, and it could have stayed there.
Yeah.
Right.
And then when they got okayed, they had 2 different endings for the
like,
5th season.
okay.
One where the series ends, just in case they ended, and then one where the series continued. And here we are, 10 years after that.
Yeah.
It's basically like, a supernatural version of the way Babylon 5 went, but the opposite. Babylon 5 had those 5 seasons, and then that was it. But, same thing. They kind of
Just
maintain
like how the
their
things
same...
blow up all the time in space.
Oh, and Kate just said it. Babylon 5 could fall into that as well. It's had a bit of resurgence thanks to Amazon.
You know who tweets about
You read my mind, girl.
Supernatural all the time? William Shatner.
Really?
Yeah, he is a fag hag for that fucking thing.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it's incredible.
That's great.
He's just like, are you watching tonight? Why aren't you watching? Stop looking at my tweets."
That's hilarious.
Why aren't
Why
you
haven't they
watching
gotten him on like as a guest star yet?
I have the same question. I'm sure he does too.
That would be great to
That
get
would be
him
phenomenal,
on there.
actually.
Hell
Just
yeah.
come out as a stormtrooper and just take his helmet off or something.
Anything. And yeah. Well, did you ever see what was that Star Wars movie, Nerds or something like that, where they're trying to get in to see
Yeah, he, like,
going to steal the
gives the
script?
plans.
That was a good cameo.
I really liked his tech war. I know it was kind of like it wasn't flushed out well enough, but I think if they remade it now with all the CGI they have, I think it would work really well. It was like right before the Matrix sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So we got some questions and comments from the fans, the friends, the crew. Aaron Swift said, my ass would definitely be a minion in the Ultron Pete army. Love seeing Greg on the show. Love that guy. I'm not as caught up as you guys, but could Silver Surfer be a possibility for who Thanos is now? I know Ramon alluded to Surfer being there, but not being there. Great show, had to watch twice. Thank you, sir. That's like 4 hours of your time.
Yeah, goddamn.
Surfer basically got like all of the heroes were getting sucked into this wormhole, and Surfer was among them. So that's what Ramon meant by maybe he's there, maybe he's not there. But I think it would be pretty awesome to have like an evil Silver Surfer running around.
Yeah, but you missed that. It wasn't a wormhole.
What was it? It was some sort of dimensional thing, wasn't it?
They
No, it was a star. It was a white hole.
Dyson sphere?
whatever it was, they clearly said we've scattered them through space and time.
Huh.
So they basically did fucking like what the Time Stone did back in the last Infinity Gauntlet bullshit with Doctor Doom, where it broke. And sent like 4 of the Avengers just jumping through time.
I remember that. I glossed over that part.
That was actually in my opinion, that was the funnest part. That was the new Avengers.
That was when they were constantly going through time and trying to collect everybody. Yeah,
and Tony.
It was like some Chrono Trigger type shit.
Mm-hmm. And Tony was trying to explain away oh no, we have to kill people because of this way, and Cap was just like, every fucking time some smart ass motherfucker comes in and says we got to kill people to do what's right. Shut the fuck up, and he starts beating people up. It's great.
I emailed you some comments from Kevin Hellions.
Yes, let me pull.
Yeah, pull those up. Aaron also said, totally agree with Pete about Mary Jane and Gwen, by the way. MJ has kind of been a slut over the years and not had Pete's back like she should, in my opinion. I agree. Gwen was definitely the girl next door. MJ was kind of like, she was the girl next to a lot of doors. Chillmonger said, I've done the train read once or twice myself. And, train reads, as far as we're concerned, are like the books that you have to get out of the bag immediately as soon as you get out of the comic shop and you read them on the way home.
Immortal Hulk.
Yeah.
Go ahead, read them up.
It's kind of interesting that you say that because, when Mary Jane and Peter first got married, she was, 100% on board.
Yeah.
But still being Mary Jane, where, being
well, she did say no the first time he asked her.
Yep.
Also true.
Yep.
Also true.
I like the Mary Jane run when McFarlane
Let's see. Kevin Hellion says, crazy how Mr. Brownstone became a radio-friendly single in the last few years. Also, there should be a Bon Jovi cover band with a lead singer named Brad Medicine. He also says, I tapped out on Dexter. Something about it made me feel gross from the beginning, like when you have to take a nasty shit right after getting out of the shower.
I always hate that. I feel like I just got to get right back in the shower.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, I just cleaned that.
My body betrayed me.
Yeah, pretty much.
And Rob Wiseguy82 said, damn, dude, you may need to take a break after that comment about Snyder's daughter. I get how you feel about the dude, but that was low.
Wait, I missed
Not low enough, goddammit.
Okay, I went back and listened to it, and I was expecting me to say something like, like something I would say.
No N-words.
Oh, God.
Like something about she saw, like what I first said was when she saw the Justice League trailer and the Justice League movie, and that's why she did what she did. And that was cold.
Yeah.
But what I said, Rob's right. Like what I said last week was just venomous. There was no humor in it. There was just
Venom.
evil.
Yeah.
So I won't repeat it. I won't. I want you to go back and watch it again. Watch the last episode. And I only say it in the first 5 to 8 minutes or so. Rob and I kind of had and I commented back. I was like, yeah, too much even for me. And he's like, dude, that was cold, man. I went back and I was like, all right, duly noted. It's important for you guys out there to kind of rein me in whenever, if I say something that crosses the line in the sand that I don't know where the line is because I don't wear my glasses for the show, really. So let me know. Sometimes I only say this shit humorously. I realized that one didn't have a lot of humor behind it. It was just, But
I disagree with that viewpoint. Fuck all you people. Let Pete be Pete.
No, but I mean, sometimes I just say these jokes are really get at people, and sometimes they hit, sometimes they don't.
Agreed, but yes, we're for the fans, but the fans are for us because Pete is Pete. And to change Pete then he no longer is Pete.
Oh, I can't change. I can't.
All right.
I can adjust my humor, though, a little bit.
We can go off camera and come back sort of thing.
Something like that.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Or it makes it into the outtakes, just not on the actual YouTube.
I was like...
Blazing Saddles.
I was almost having anxiety, what the fuck did I say? Because I was drunk and I don't really remember. And, the way I'm editing now is I'm kind of skipping over a lot of shit. Thanks to our director, Hannah, we love you, dear, who takes the minutes of every show, I'm able to jump ahead and just insert a few visual slates here and there. And it makes my life so much easier. We've gone from 5 hours worth of editing to literally about an hour worth.
Nice.
And it's wonderful. So typically, like, she'll call me out. It's like, Pete, really? Like, all right. So she didn't actually call me out on that one, so I completely glossed over it. And then when I saw Rob's comment, and I'm like, what did I say? It's been a while.
So basically, you just felt like...
It's been a minute.
You felt like you just fucked two girls in a cotton candy factory. You felt great, but a little weird and sticky.
Yes. And actually, I got a comment
I'm just imagining
on...
how much fun that would be.
I got a cotton candy everywhere. Legs over.
I got a private message on Instagram that's... I don't know who this person is. Never seen him before. Don't know if they watched the show or not. But it just said, "You are an idiot." And I'm like, okay.
Thank you.
I said, well, thank you for that piece of pertinent information. Would you like to tell me why? Because if I start guessing, I'm just going to give you more reasons. I was like, but I'm not going to take offense to it because fuck you. But I don't agree with you. I'm not an idiot. I'm actually very smart. I am an asshole. And I wear that badge with honor.
Yes.
And if you ever don't think I'm an asshole, I'm just going to try harder.
Idiot brings you back to the... I forget the comedian. He just died recently, but like, here's your sign.
Yes.
Bill Engvall's dead?
No. George Carlin.
Oh,
okay. It's like, wow.
Where like some people just need to wear a sign saying, I am an idiot.
Yes.
So other bad things won't happen to them. That's not a Pete.
No, Bill Engvall was the one with the "Here's your sign."
Yeah. Okay, so
I think everybody should wear signs that
maybe
say
I'm
I'm stupid.
conflating the two.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's possibly.
Oh man, I was like, shit, man. Bill Engvall was like my favorite redneck.
Seriously, holy shit.
No, my favorite redneck was the guy that sat in the
Ron
theater
White
with black people who's like this big and listen to them talk about movies. He's like from Missouri.
What you drinking over there?
Oh, just a little seltzer to kind of wash the whiskey down.
Okay, all right.
It's really the
You need a chaser. Mm-hmm. Yeah, even Kate's like, don't scare me like that about Bill Engvall, Chris.
Sorry.
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 So sorry.
I'll try harder next time.
All right, so what do you say? Because this was a topsy-turvy week of books.
It was a little weird.
What do you say we get the nonsense out of the way first?
So all of them?
Almost all of them.
Yeah.
There was one or two that I did like. First of all, G.I. Joe Sierra Muerte. Muerte means dead, right? Death?
Yes. I wish this book was dead.
Seriously. I opened this book and I'm like, dude, the artwork was horrendous.
I basically looked at this book. I reacted to the visuals in this book the way Austin Powers reacts to Fred Savage's mole. It's like, whoa! You know, it was like one of those. And I'm like...
Just in case you think I'm the only asshole on the Pete's
Who
Basement
approved
crew,
this?
Ramon texts me and said, holy shit, that artwork looked like Michael J. Fox could do better. So just in case you think it's just me.
That brings me back to Family Guy, where it's like, Michael J. Fox is Zorro. Like,
Yes.
someone was here.
That's fucked up.
Fucking brilliance.
But
I don't know who that was, but he left a mark.
Not even just the artwork that was abysmal, but the storyline read like a kid wrote it, and they've never read G.I. Joe or played with G.I. Joe or seen a G.I. Joe cartoon in their lives.
Well, it was like they were trying to make it like the cartoon and just completely failed miserably and missed the point.
Baroness called Commander CC.
Yeah.
She called Cobra Commander CC.
Yeah.
Never, ever in the history of Joedom has she ever done that. She always called him Commander with that accent that she had.
Articulate.
She actually was so respectful that she said that with a K.
Yes.
It is how we do it in Major Ukraine. Where's she from?
I'm not sure, actually. I think she's from Trucial Abysmia, which is like one of those made-up spots.
Right.
Okay.
Her and Destro and all that.
Yes. Yeah. But, oh my god, and I just... God almighty. I wanted to just find the artist and the writer because it was like created by and drawn by one person and like written, the story was written by, I guess he pitched the idea and the other guy wrote the story. And both of them should be fucking kicked in the dick by the Heart Master, who's dead.
I don't know. Okay.
It was just so amateur.
That's one path to go down, but the other path is, I think it's management. Management's like, all right, we need to do something edgy, something that kids haven't seen yet. We gotta get them in because they're not responding in the numbers that we want on GI Joes. We got to do this, and they probably push for this.
That's because there's a niche for GI Joe, a Real American Hero, and that is all of the original fans.
Yeah.
And they tried that the last time. I don't even know if the other Joe title is still being printed by that idiot. Yeah, that was garbage. That's why.
And they did crossover after crossover. It didn't work.
No.
It just should work if it did right, but...
I mean, there were a
just
few...
Look at fucking Transformers, the movie that came out. Those guys on the ground, that was G.I. Joe all the way.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
And that's the way it should have crossed over in the movies, and unfortunately that never happened.
Yeah.
That shared universe.
Yeah.
But
you know,
they had other darker G.I. Joe stories.
Yeah.
There were darker stories from both Image and IDW, and they worked. And I don't know why they stopped working. I don't know why those books were canceled. I was buying every single one of them.
Why do I have the feeling that there is like this small pocket of classic fans that wanted the campiness of...
You've got that kind of in Real American Hero. You've got seriousness, but also that campiness. This wasn't campy. This was just shit.
Basura.
This was dumb.
Thank you. Insert for Greg.
And while we're on the subject of things that sound like they were written by children, let's go to Vindication.
Do we have to?
Okay, Vindication sounds like it was written by a high school kid who wrote a story for his English class. It's a good concept.
The premise was good.
The premise is great.
Good. Yeah.
It's cliche. It's been done, but
it's like a Law and Order episode. It could be.
It was a Law. Yeah, it's got to be a Law and Order episode. It was basically a black man who was wrongfully convicted, and 10 years later they find evidence through DNA that says he didn't do it, and now he's being let out of jail, and the cop who originally arrested him is not having it. He doesn't believe it. He's got a vendetta. He's harassing him, and the woman whose husband was killed, supposedly by this dude, is calling the cop and harassing him. So now the cop's fucking tracking his guy and tracking his every move, and all of a sudden the jurors on the original case are being murdered systematically.
Picture a man that should be part of a good comic book.
It's a good concept, but the story itself...
You did. They're very nice.
To me, the story read amateurish. It read like a high school sophomore wrote the story for his English class. I'm sorry. And it's a shame because the artwork was cool.
Yeah.
The artwork worked.
Agreed.
Artwork was actually really, really well done.
Yeah, I hate comics like that where like you look at the art where it draws you in, and you try to figure out the story from the flash. You have to do it from when you're in the comic store, and then it's like this doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah,
but
and on top of that, once you have the altercation between the inmate, or for lack of a better term, and the cop, you don't see hide nor hair of that dude.
The inmate. No, not for the rest of the book. It's all the cop.
Yeah, it's only about the cop, who I've already established is a motherfucking asshole. Who doesn't...
They're like arguing back and forth, like, I'm going to put you back behind bars. No, you're not. I ain't never going back. Get out of my face. And the cop pushes him over and then tries to help him up. And all of a sudden this woman's like, oh, I saw that. We're going to call a press conference. And then you literally turn the page and there's a camera crew right there. Where did you come from? Yeah. Where were you?
Everybody always harps about the Harry Potter books, but I couldn't read them because it's exactly like that. Everything is mapped out for you. There's nothing left to the
But that's supposed to be a kid's book. I'm more accepting of things being conveniently placed, let's say, in a kid's book than I am in this, which...
But even in kids' books, it shouldn't just run like a straight line. You should get that slip shot and wonder what the hell's going on.
That's a good analogy. Like, it runs like a straight line. Yes, that's how this felt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not Pulp Fiction. It doesn't do Reservoir Dogs. It's just...
This was you said it before. This is like an Ed Brubaker story.
Yeah,
it should be.
It should be. Yeah. This should be a criminal premise.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You get one of their characters in there to do the
or
same
you know
thing.
what? Put this. I don't know how many of you guys are reading the hard case crime labels. They do like maybe 2 or 3 stories at a time, and they're always limited series.
Or making a fucking Black Hood.
Could be a Black Hood series. Yeah.
God, I miss Black Hood.
Me too.
What the fuck happened to that?
I don't know. That book fell off like...
It was such a great...
It was the Archie Dark Circle thing. That was their like R-rated label.
It was so simple. It was like Hellboy with great imagery.
It was old school and the Black Hood was a vigilante from the 30s. Like that comic book existed. I went and looked it up.
Which is why I think I'm jumping now, but it made me think of the Bronze Man, which is oh, good lord.
Ooh, okay. Kate says the hard case crime stuff is great. Read their take on the Girl with the Dragon tattoo books. That I'd be interested in looking at.
I never got into the actual novels,
My
so I
ex-wife
never...
did.
Yeah?
She read all 3 of the Stieg Larsson novels. She said that they were phenomenal.
That's why I stayed away from the comics.
They kind of dragged on a little bit, but yeah, he passed away. So anything that
passed away.
Oh boy.
He had a heart attack on the stairs to his own apartment.
Really?
Yeah, it was like... It wasn't even like the stairs to his apartment. It was like the emergency exit
Okay.
of a 4-story apartment building.
Right.
And someone had an angio, whatever the fuck it is, from a 52-year-old guy. It made absolutely no sense.
So you think he was assassinated?
If he was, it was really neatly done.
Well, the government's good at stuff like that.
Well, I don't know about the government. Military's good. Government ain't.
That's what I'm saying, yes.
Comics may actually be better than the original novels. The novels
Really?
did not translate well. I think that was what my ex-wife was kind of saying, was that the translations were a little off. But the films that they did, the Swedish films that they did with
the girl that's in First
Nomi
Man.
Rapace are
Nomi?
phenomenal. Yeah.
Who's the girl that took over for her then?
That was Wellington Mara's daughter or granddaughter.
Because I hated her.
That was the American version with
Yeah.
what's his name as a reporter.
The guy.
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig, thank you.
Guy.
The guy. That guy.
Bond.
The fucking guy.
The fucking guy.
But yeah,
Bears.
the actual film, the Swedish films with
Was
Noomi
Noomi Rapace?
Yes.
Interesting.
And they were very well put
hated
together.
Prometheus.
Fair enough.
Yeah. That is so many, it could have been such a better
I know not of what you speak.
Prometheus?
I know who Prometheus is. He's the guy that stole fire from the gods and gave it to us. And they punished him by having his innards eaten out by a fucking buzzard every night. And then they grew back, and then they buzzard ate again. Forever. Forever.
Thank you, God of War.
Yes. No,
Swedish
I never
ones may
played God
still
of
be
War. I
on
just know my
Netflix.
mythology.
Oh, okay.
Kate, I will look into that.
So, Dynamite is constantly trying to do
Dynamite!
I wish. They're constantly trying to do these heroes like Peter Cannon, Thunderbolt, Solar Man of the Atom, Turok,
Solar
and a
almost
few others. Solar almost worked when it was the guy that was the
the
mathematician, and then it became his daughter. That almost worked. That was probably like the best attempt.
It's, again, management decision. We need to pull in more women on this comic.
Who's the other one? Doc Savage. They never
Bronze
work.
Man.
Yes.
And who did Doc Savage better? Prodigy.
Oh.
Prodigy is basically Doc Savage, but it's a black guy.
Yes.
And
yes.
he's more articulate than Doc Savage.
That was a more interesting story, and I've read just about every incarnation of Doc Savage Dynamite put out.
Yeah, Doc Savage never went into his own subconscious and had 3 different versions of himself work on 4 different problems.
Pretty wild, right?
That was fucking awesome.
But yeah, Peter Cannon Thunderbolt kind of jumps into it now where Cannon is kind of retired, or he's just being a jerk and doesn't want a superhero anymore. And these other superheroes from around the world come to him and like, we need your help. And they're tackling an alien invasion. Yeah. That is dispensed with in the first issue.
Yeah, and oddly,
They make
looks
it
like the Brood.
They make it sound like it was this intricate plot. They make it sound like it was this Ozymandias type of plot of alien
That
invasion.
was exactly the vibe I got.
Yeah, that's what they.
Thunderbolt.
Thank you. That's what they attempted.
Yeah,
But
and
it was like-
just fell flat on his face. It collapsed like a wet taco.
It's like, who could have possibly thought of this?
So now
I think a 7-year-old could have thought it's an alien invasion. No, it was. There's only one man who could possibly have thought of this, and I'm like, all right, we're gonna introduce like an arch villain here,
it's like, no, we're gonna introduce an evil me.
an evil me from another dimension. Of course it is.
Me.
I mean, it's at this point, it's just a cop out to do the evil self.
You
Like,
don't even have Tom Cavanaugh doing a better version of himself.
Yes, Precisely. And I like the Evil Me stories. I do. I actually just had a discussion with somebody that I like.
Not in this capacity, though. Not the way this was done.
No, this one stunk.
Like you do you could do Evil Link, Shadow Link all day long.
Precisely. You He-Man and anti-He-Man, anti-Eternia He-Man.
Yeah.
All of those concepts of, or even going back to Supernatural, Dean and Demon Dean when he became evil using the first blade and things like that. I like the anti-hero character. Not like
Superman and Nuclear Man doesn't count.
Superman, but Bizarro does count.
Yes.
Bizarro
does count. Yes.
Absolutely. I don't think Batman actually has one. Maybe The Man Who Laughs would be, and I really do like that character a lot. Yeah. Actually, that's one of the main reasons I liked Metal, was because there were like 8 different fucking evil Batmen.
Now, this is my naivete. Man Who Laughs is who?
The Batman Who Laughs is a Batman from the Dark Multiverse, which is our multiverse flipped on its ass, and the Batman Who Laughs is Batman who was infected by Joker serum.
So, do you know the Man Who Laughs is actually
is a movie,
right?
Yeah, who many people think inspired the Joker in the first place.
Have you seen that film?
No, but I've heard it's twisted.
It is so creepy. So the guy basically,
it's a silent film, right?
Silent film.
Yeah.
The guy is a wonderful, nice person who wants to just get married, live a wonderful life, but he has a giant smile because his face has been cut horribly, and it's all the way up to his ears, and he's smiling all the time, and it's the creepiest looking Joker ever.
Wow.
Yeah, and it'll give you.
I wonder if like I wonder what the copyright is on that. If we could have like a Pete's Basement viewing party down here. What an interesting idea.
Between that and what's the other one? The Third Man.
I never saw that. What's that?
Oh,
I never heard of that.
The Third Man is the standard of introduction of main characters. You don't see the top billing guy for a good 45 minutes. They just talk about him.
Oh wait, I heard about. Somebody told me about this. It might have been you.
Probably.
Yes.
And then you see his shoes.
Yes. Somebody. It had to be you that told me about this.
His shoes, and you're like, oh my god, it's him! Literally, like people like jumped out of their seats in the theater. Huh. And or
they were able to generate so much hype in the movie just from having everybody talk about it.
Hence MCU.
Huh. Optimus Prime and Nemesis Prime, who I just really like that term. And unfortunately, for anybody who saw the abysmal Reverse Flash, one of my all-time favorite villains ever.
We still don't know who he is. Really. We kind of know.
I really kind of hate that they've done
like
the whole Joker origin thing was like, oh god, now we actually
know. No, they're kind of doing the Wolverine origin, like before they fucked up Wolverine, where you didn't know what he was and where he came from for the longest time.
Yeah, and then they just had to peg him and put him into Civil War or something like that as a Howlett. You know, or it's just like, let me just roll.
My name is James Howlett III.
I liked Origin. I did.
It was a fun arc, but that's all it was.
And as with anything, they take things too far. They find something that works, and then they browbeat it into submission.
Yes.
Like, for example...
they did that with Wolverine, period.
Glad you brought that up, because this is a great segue.
He should have been the left hand of God, goddammit.
Old Man Logan was one of the most highly acclaimed Wolverine stories. I didn't like it. I hated it. The whole, like, Hulk is evil, and he ate Wolverine.
That was my favorite part, though.
Really, when he cut himself out of his stomach?
Yes.
Okay.
And, like, I'm going to eat you now. Like,
I don't know. We've done the evil Hulk thing.
People don't like when I get angry. People shit themselves when I get angry. And he just beats the shit out of him as Banner before he turns into the Hulk.
I don't know. We saw the evil Hulk with Maestro in Future Past, Future Imperfect.
But not as fun, and certainly not as fun as Immortal Hulk now.
No, certainly. But
those glowing eyes when he's like, "I'm the Endgame." I would love.
Then they did Old Man Hawkeye, which was way better than it had any right to be. It was good.
Why?
And the artwork was fucking amazing.
Well, we already got that whole freaking thing in Old Man Logan.
Of course we did.
He went across with Spider-Man, or not Spider-Man.
And honestly, I didn't like Old Man Logan nearly as much as I liked Old Man Hawkeye.
But now we have Old Man Quill,
which was a decent story.
Just give me Astro Vance, goddammit!
Now you're just being bitter.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah. He's not just being, he's being nostalgically bitter.
But I'm just tired of the old man universe.
I don't like a series unless it's mine, right?
I'm tired of the old man Marvel universe.
Yes.
Who cares? Peter Quill loses his family. He's teamed up with the Guardians again, and then they crash land on Earth in the wastelands in the old man Logan era.
Yeah.
Enough.
Yeah, it's
I would have been better off if they kept it in space.
What it is?
Well, honestly, I was expecting that to happen, and the fact that they decide to bring it back to Earth in that universe just really turned it off for me.
Seriously, like I was with
and
you
I'm not even
up until the last page, and the artwork was not nearly as good as Old Man Hawkeye either. So I'm like,
I mean, for me, the artwork was okay. It was passable. I thought it was good. I didn't.
It's
read
good,
it's
but
like Hawkeye.
Old Man Hawkeye set a high standard for art.
Okay,
it
fair enough.
really did.
I'll
just flip through it. You don't even have to read it. Just flip it one issue, and you'll see what I mean.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, but again, like you didn't have to make this an Earth thing.
Yeah.
No, there's no reason to make this an Earth thing.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, let's bring it back to the one planet that always seems to be at the center of the galaxy.
Earth.
Wow. Which is
616.
literally not at the center of the galaxy. It's
No, it's
all the
not.
way in the fucking
Delta
shit.
Quadrant.
Yeah, it's literally Tatooine. Seriously.
Yeah, we're on the Outer Rim.
Yeah. We're not even in the real
Are we only
planet.
30,000 light years from the center of the galaxy? Because that's what I heard on Jeopardy today.
I forgot. I'm
Said
sorry.
that somebody figured out that somebody back in the day.
Say that to me again, though. Only 30,000 light years.
Yes, well, still, it's
30,000 light years.
You know our closest star to us is 4.4 light years away?
Yes.
That's Alpha Centauri?
Yes.
Yeah. And that is what, again? 4 light years. That's going at the speed of, not close to it.
Going at the speed of light for 4 years.
For 4 years.
Yeah.
4 years. So you're going 186,000 miles per hour.
Per second.
Excuse me, 180 per second.
Per second, yes.
Which is God knows fucking...
696,600,000 miles per hour. I did the math one time when I was young.
All year, and then doing it again 4 times. Mm-hmm. So... see you when Phase 4 is over, and now I'm in Alpha Centauri.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
So, warp drives need to be a thing.
Yeah, no.
To be able to,
so
honestly, I hate saying this because I fucking hate them. Wormholes. Because even with warp drives, let's say you can do 10 times the speed of light.
Right.
You're not even going to get like a quarter of the way to the center of the galaxy. Not even.
But frankly, saying wormhole factor 9, Mr. Sulu, is not nearly as fun.
Correct. But you
however,
you want to hear a stupid story?
Farscape. You gotta watch Farscape. That gets in your head.
Okay.
Well, yeah, the term that they use for faster than light travel in the Halo universe is called slip space. So that
nerd.
And what was actually really cool was, I am going to nerd out for a hot minute.
Yeah?
I was actually thinking about this yesterday. How cool it was that in Halo 2 there is a Covenant. There's a Covenant battle cruiser that's hovering over what's known as New Mombasa in Africa. It's a mega city.
Sure.
And it actually...
finally, we're using a city not in America.
Yes. And it is a major hub for the UNSC. Anyway, this ship is, they're bugging out, and they actually slip space jump inside the atmosphere. So when they finally come out of slip space, out in space, you see pieces of skyscrapers that reemerge out of this. So it basically creates a wormhole and just transports everything trapped inside it.
Yeah, it probably creates a singularity. I mean, it just
basically that's what wound up doing. So they actually wound up destroying half of New Mombasa in the blink of an eye.
Yeah,
fucking wild. Absolutely wild
and
stuff. That's
we were kind of talking about this off camera, like when we talked about the cosmic characters in the Marvel universe. It's like it's relegated, even in like the recent Captain Marvel trailer. Mm-hmm. It's relegated to just shooting beams out of their hands.
Yes,
show me shit like that where they're transporting an entire fucking town to the other side of the galaxy with cosmic powers.
Yeah,
because that's what they can do. And actually, they did that in the recent Defenders, like 1 or 2 issue arc with the Hulk in it, which I loved. And Silver Surfer transports a planet with the power cosmic.
Nice,
interesting. I didn't know he could do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's just it. With a lot of these Omega level powered characters, you have you have ways to explore their potential and that don't bore you to tears.
Right, and that goes to the root of how comics came about. Because originally comics were just basically a quicker way to go to the movies.
Sure.
It literally was Detective Comics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then people like Carmen Infantino was like, fucking throw a truck at him. And that started happening. Then Green Lantern happened. It's like, well, how fast can a person run? Then they did the Flash. So get imaginative with these powers. Why are we just shooting people with lasers and shit? Like, showing, I can lift a building. Fucking throw a planet. Like, I love when Thanos broke the moon and threw it at fucking...
the Avengers?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. More of that needs to happen.
Yep.
That kind of inventiveness. Not just on the paper, but also, especially in the theaters.
Yeah. On a much smaller scale, that was kind of the intriguing part. They were badly done, but that was kind of the intriguing part of the Force battles between Yoda and Count Dooku and Yoda and Palpatine.
Yeah.
It was on a much smaller scale, but you can extrapolate that.
But again,
and apply that to a bunch of different high-powered
third man sort of build-ups. You had, him. He had a couple of sword fights first.
Yeah.
So just like in the Avengers, you saw he had a character establishment. Okay, he's good to a certain extent, and then he fights Yoda.
Yeah.
And then you got that whole build-up, and you just see the shadow of Yoda coming around the corner.
Right.
So that even though the CG doesn't really hold up, it was still
right.
When he pulled that lightsaber out of his
it just.
Everybody in the theater was cheering.
Oh, totally, yeah. And then after that, it just delved into ridiculousness.
Oh, but I would have gone full Muppet on that. I would have been like,
you do that noise really good.
Yeah.
Your kung fu is good, but you lack discipline. Ah! Don't you mean discipline you lack?
Correct me, you shall not. I'm 900 years old. You really look as good, you will not. Hmm?
So, nevertheless, Old Man Quill was a decent story, but it's just
it's still Quill.
It's the same old thing. It's the same old thing.
Quill with a beard.
Like, the biggest thing that was fucked up was, they kind of pulled this church or whatever. They pulled an Ozymandias
the Universal Church
on him.
of Truth. Yeah.
Yeah, they pulled an Ozymandias on him.
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of when they try to do...
Oh, yeah, it happened already?
Yeah,
I saw
already
that.
lost.
Yeah.
I was like...
I drew that comparison, you're right.
Yeah, I was like, ooh.
It's like, oh, you came here to fuck us up? Well, we went to your planet while it was completely undefended and fucked you guys up.
Yep.
And we carved our symbol into the planet
and
just to hammer it home.
Yeah, and Ankh and basically carved into a
Good luck getting your dick up after that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that goes against Sun Tzu, because Sun Tzu would have just... the one big takeaway I got from Sun Tzu was the whole, to decimate your enemy is second best, to make your enemy your friend is first best. One of my favorite ones was, when do you attack an army that's fording a river? Do you attack them before they ford the river or after they ford the river?
In the river.
When they're half in and half out.
Yeah.
Because as you attack the front guard, they start bumping into the back guard.
Yep. And creates confusion. And chaos.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or as they say on Thomas the Train, confusion and delay. But yeah, so you create all that.
Tying it into being a dad, I like it.
I know, right?
I have to finish reading The Art of War. I do have my...
What you gotta do is finish that shot, fucker.
God damn it, and Punisher.
Fuck you both.
When you're lucky.
Hey, baby.
Yeah. Some Basement extras.
Reload.
Yep.
What do you have there?
Nobody noticed I did a good Batman voice there?
No.
That was Batman?
Kind of.
I thought it was
Inadvertently,
like
but kind of.
Daredevil on a weekday.
Where were the other drugs going?
Well, funny you mentioned that. Daredevil also came out this week. And it's not nearly jump on friendly. Like, you have to have been keeping up with the shit.
No, definitely. And,
Jump on?
yeah. I mean, thought it was cool. Knew he was leader of the hand. I don't know what happened after that.
Wait, what?
He's
Are we doing a whole Hail Hydra bullshit again?
No. No.
He was leading the hand when it was Shadowland.
Right, yes.
And then he was like, then he had lost his powers, and then there was like a freak accident and shit, and then he had surgery and whatnot, and then he died,
right?
And now he's back as Daredevil.
Surgery, reintroduced the radar gland.
Yeah, some shit like that. So now we've basically gone all of that, and we're back to the status quo of it's Daredevil in Hell's Kitchen.
Right.
So I guess it's a good jump on point, but
not
they reference a lot of stuff that happened.
Yes,
and I don't know.
However, I really like the artwork in this.
No, it's good. It is good.
Really good.
I just want to see
Daredevil
and Kunlun.
That would be sick,
right?
That would be sick. To have him, go toe to toe with Danny Rand.
Not even go toe to toe, but learn
just
the Iron
show
Fist.
Up. Yeah.
Maybe not be worthy of the Iron Fist, but something close.
Right.
Maybe
that would be
the whole
I got a bit of Spider-Man Powerless out of this. Because he's still recovering from dying.
Right. Still one of the greatest Spidey stories ever.
Yeah. So they're kind of like dipping their toes in that
I'm
water.
sucker for McFarlane. Anyway.
Well.
But Larson,
I think it's kind of cool.
Protege.
Larson. Yeah. The only Larson I like is Savage Dragon. But
I really enjoyed his run though on ASM.
Sorry, we keep interrupting the cheese.
That's what we do. We interrupt each other. It's the name of the show.
But
Pete's interrupting basement.
I interrupt and I know things.
But yeah, they're dipping their toes in the water a little bit with that, and I kind of like that. Where he's like questioning, it's like, should I even be doing this? Am I too old for this shit? It's kind of like a hybrid, like Spider-Man Powerless and Lethal Weapon.
I was about to say, settle down there, Murtaugh. Did you get to read Uncanny X-Men?
No.
Okay, so we'll save that for next week.
Do we have to?
I guess.
Okay.
Suffice to say, Wolverine's back from Return of Wolverine. Cyclops is back, and now we're once again back to the status quo. Cyclops has been dead for a few years. So has Wolverine. Wolverine has actually been dead far longer than I originally thought he was going to be dead when they first killed him.
The fact that they kept him dead longer than Captain America.
Yeah,
that did. Says a lot.
Yeah, they immediately went to you're lost in time and not dead with Cap.
Because there was such backlash over it.
There was 3 months that he's dead, and then we're like, nope, he's back.
Yep. But I loved when they had that Romito run with Captain America, where he was in the alternate dimension for the longest time.
That was a good one, but then they kept trying to go back to those alternate dimensions with Cap, and I'm like, stop it.
Yeah.
They went another...
I was done.
They went 10 years into the future in another story, and I'm like, stop. It worked then with the whole Arnim Zola verse, and that was good.
Again, I blame management. They're like, oh, that worked really well. We need
to do it again 20 times.
Right. They actually didn't take their own advice. Like when they had Spider-Man, as much as I hate to say it, when they did the whole One More Day, where he made the deal with Mephisto, you haven't seen Mephisto in ASM since.
No,
as far as I know.
I want to see
which is stupid to me because
that would be fun.
I'm sorry, that's one of the things that annoys me most about Spidey is they have never come full circle.
Right. They have not brought back the
marriage.
They
need to settle that.
Yes.
Even if they don't bring the marriage back, Spidey needs to settle up with Mephisto.
Yes.
He needs to fuck his ass up. And if he needs the power cosmic to do it, so be it.
Yep.
And that's how we're gonna
That's how you bring it back.
And that's how you get the demon out of Hulk ultimately.
There you go. That's why the Hulk is doing this? He's got a demon?
Yeah, because...
I'm not up on Immortal Hulk.
Well, it wasn't in the Immortal Hulk it was mentioned. It was mentioned in the Defenders. Mephisto was brought in to make a deal with... I've come to bargain with Doctor Strange. And he...
I need to watch that movie.
Kind of side-talked about... Yeah, that was a surprisingly good movie.
Yes.
I'm a scientist, so magic, I'm like, the fuck? You can't quantify it. I can't relate to how one magic is better than the other, but they convinced me in that movie. So I totally recommend that. And, what's his name? Slimber Dick Bender Snatch. He was perfect.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. Engelbert Humperdinck.
Yeah. He should be Doctor Who. He really should.
Interesting.
Yeah.
He needs to fucking come back for season 5 of Sherlock is what he needs to do.
No.
Shush. You shut your mouth. You shut your whore mouth.
Moriarty needs to win and just be...
Moriarty's dead.
I will Yeah, really, he's dead. It could just like Sherlock was dead.
Blew his fucking head off, dude.
No.
Just saying.
Parlor tricks, maybe.
I don't know.
I'm not even. I have to watch that show.
Reichenbach falls, motherfucker. So in Defenders, he said, "Is there any way to help Hulk with what he's dealing with?" And Mephisto actually said, "No, I can't help him. That's a demon far worse than even I can deal with."
That's interesting.
That's what I thought. And he
So
actually
who
said
is it?
demon.
Yeah, and it so
Do we know who it is? Do we know the name?
No.
to the point where
Because if
Mephisto,
anybody's
where
ever
even
dealt-
Mephisto would be like, I ain't fucking with that.
Right.
If anybody's ever dealt with demonology, you should know that knowing the name of the demon gives you power over it.
Yeah, because the name is to know is to have power over.
Yes,
As we saw,
knowledge is power.
as we saw in the extended edition of Suicide Squad.
Interesting.
You watched the extended edition?
Because Jared Leto was a motherfucking good Joker, and he actually said that, and that it was mystical the way he did it. You gotta watch it.
I have to agree.
Yeah.
I have because the way he's portrayed as the gangster version of the Joker, completely like a 180 from Jack Nicholson.
And he even said at one point, like when Harley Quinn was like, I want to love you. I love you so much. And he's like, you can't love me. I'm an idea. I'm like,
Right.
yes.
I wanted to come to this, fellas.
But can I get a blade to go against
I'm
it?
glad you're grabbing the Gladius. That's not sharp.
No, I'm gonna fucking bludgeon the two of you.
Those who are about to salute you. Wait, no. Those who are about to die.
We who are about to die salute you.
Can't believe it's like, just when they think you know people.
Well, the thing is,
He was
is
a
that
different version of the Joker. He wasn't
I trusted you, loved you, and you've betrayed me.
I'm glad
you're coming with that. You knew exactly where I went with that,
Yes,
too.
I did. I totally did.
It's scary sometimes.
We are twins. Well, no, the thing is, the portrayal of the Joker by Jared Leto was good.
The acting was good.
The writing
the fucking
behind
visual was
sucks.
terrible.
yes.
Visual sucked.
The visual
If I close my eyes, he's a great Joker.
Yeah.
exactly.
And
And
the
that's just it. They fucked up the image of it.
Yes, they did.
And the problem is because you did that, everybody looks with their eyes, not with their head and not with their ears. That's all you center in on.
As my blind ninja master once said, the keenest eye is that which looks inward.
Your eyes are moping again.
Where's that from, fuckers?
G.I. Joe, motherfucker.
Excellent. Can I get a high five?
That was, what's her name in the red?
Jinx, yes.
Jinx, yeah. Yeah, because, like, they were about to...
And she fucked up Beachhead with the tonfas, the sticks.
No, with the...
Screamer sticks?
No, they were like...
Actual tonfas?
They were like bludgeon
it-
sticks.
They were fucking
American Gladiator kind of shit, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But first she got her ass whooped because Beachhead was like, "You guys are moping. Don't mope on me." And then she did that whole line, and she broke him in half.
And tied the thing around her head.
Yeah.
Beachhead was actually always one of my favorite Joes. Like, he was a tough motherfucker, and he didn't get, like, enough play as far as I was concerned, because there was Duke, there was Flint, who I also really liked.
Yeah.
And
Flint was a badass.
I liked Flint. I hated Duke.
Yeah.
Like, I was always... when he got the snake through the heart, I'm like, fuck his ass!
A better Sam Jackson role I have not seen, if not in Beachhead.
I would
pay
allow...
money to see
Yes,
that.
I would allow
I'd pay money
Beachhead
to
to
see
be
that.
black, to be Samuel L. Jackson. I
Agreed.
can... Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I kind of love that he's doing another Shaft movie.
But it's his kid. It looks like a fucking comedy.
Dude,
I'm okay
it's
with that.
worth it because that one scene with the grandfather, and he's
Yes.
like, he pulls a knife, he's like, "Hold on, let me pull mine out," and he shoots him.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was on the Instagram
And
trailer.
he
for
shoots him,
fuck's
and he
sake.
goes out the fucking window.
Yeah.
It's like a big ass 44 Magnum.
He's
like, I'm old.
hand cannon.
I'm old. I ain't gonna fuck around no more.
That's fucking funny.
Bam! Like fuck.
All I saw of the whole trailer was like the 10 seconds where he was like knocking on the girl's door, and she comes like, I'm looking
Oh,
for
yeah,
John
that was
Shad.
a setup, yeah.
He's like, Junior?
But you missed
Yeah.
it later when like the girl's got a bat and Shaft Jr.'s like, I can't hit her. That's misogynist. He's like, dude, it's more misogynist that you don't want to fucking hit her.
I'm equal opportunity.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm
this
an
is
equal
interesting.
opportunity ass whooper. Tell you though,
Okay.
his best role, The Long Kiss Goodnight.
I have not seen that. I'll have to check
Sammy J, you mean?
Yeah, Sammy
Okay.
J.
So, actually, speaking of hitting women, which I know that's an odd segue. But let's talk about the Gunhawks for a minute.
No, not
I thought you were going high five. Come on!
Get away from me.
Fine! Well, we're shooting a lot of fucking women in the Gunhawks.
Yes.
Apparently, they were just a bunch of fucking outlaws. The main dude in this one shot.
I don't know what was happening in that thing.
I don't either.
Me neither.
I liked the
It
setup.
felt like I was in Vietnam.
Here's the thing. I like the setup of this story, and then it was like they ran out of pages.
Yes.
Like
They did.
So you got this guy who used to have a dark past, and he was hired by this warlord to go and fuck up all the soldiers that were rolling with Pancho Villa back in the fucking early 1900s in this town,
yeah.
and none of Pancho Villa wasn't there. His men weren't there, so they just fucked up everybody in the town and they killed everybody, except for like probably a few people. And it seems these women were coming back for revenge, and they killed everybody in the crew except for this dude.
Yeah, which there were 12 of them, which just make biblical parallels here and there and all that.
Okay,
stuff.
I didn't actually put that together.
Yeah,
This sounds like a BPRD setup almost.
almost. Yeah. But the thing is, though,
I
is
like
that
this
like
as
a
a West. This
backstory
could
to
definitely be a fucking solid
there
Western.
isn't anything mystical about it, though.
But it seemed it for a second because this is the part that bothered me. I'm glad you brought up the mystical thing. Like the woman that they just want him dead. They'll spare the whole rest of the town he's in, including your wife and all your friends.
Yeah.
Even though we just bulleted
Right
one in the fucking gut.
Yeah.
We'll spare everybody. You have to die.
Yeah.
And he's like fighting with the main woman. Somehow they get separated. And there's
I don't know
a
how
big
the
ass
fuck that
shootout
happened.
in the middle of town with the rest of them. And he's talking to this girl and he's like, so if like you promise to spare everyone else, and all of a sudden there's like pow pow bam bam like right going on behind him and a little onomatopoeias and shit.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, he says that and they stop.
Yeah.
Why did they stop?
More or
How?
less.
They can't hear the conversation. They're not ghosts. You're shooting them. They're not ghosts.
Yeah.
Why did they fucking stop? None of that was explained. And then the next thing you know, they're walking out, him and this other girl who hates his guts. They're both gut shot. They're walking out arm in arm.
Out.
Pretty much to the idea of he's walking to his death.
Yes.
And his wife's like, no.
Yeah.
And that's it.
They ain't even married yet.
No, they didn't explain shit.
No, they didn't
Why did
explain a goddamn
everybody else
thing.
know to stop shooting?
Right.
That's what bothered me the most.
Yeah.
I almost liked this.
But
Yes.
that's Nabokov though. Nabokov did that a lot.
I don't know what that means.
Nabokov.
Nabokov, it's a name.
You're a name.
He's a. I believe.
Yes,
he's a-
I am.
Either he's a. I'm doing this injustice. Either a Czech or a Russian writer. He did Invitation to a Beheading.
Nabokov, I believe, was Russian.
He was
I believe
Russian.
it was
Thank you.
Russian, yeah.
So he did Invitation to a Beheading, a couple other wonderful books that ended that way, where he thought like things were gonna,
You can't do that in 30 pages, though.
no, and actually,
I would have actually accepted this as even a 2-issue little mini.
But I'm wondering, like, I don't think they're that smart.
Or go for a double-sized one-shot. Something.
So you guys saw the new Blade Runner, right?
No.
No.
You want to lose respect
I
for
would
me?
like to.
Yes, I
but
already did.
I never saw the original Blade Runner. Sorry, guys. We actually just had this discussion last week where we just talked about things that we should have seen and never did.
Why?
You think you fucking know again.
Why? Oh.
Now, it has been a really fucking long time since I last saw Blade Runner, but at least I watched it.
So, to quick finish the point, because I don't want to end this at 2 a.m. with you guys. As much as I wouldn't mind, they have lives.
In other words, he wants to sit me down and watch Blade Runner.
For
Yeah.
3.5 hours with no
Yeah,
people.
I mean, listen, Sean Young ain't bad to look at in this movie.
No,
I'm just
she's
saying.
not.
And Vangelis, the soundtrack.
Yeah,
I want to listen to that in space.
there you go. There's an idea.
2049, the new one, starts off the film. Not starts off, but the first quarter of the film, you at one point see a book by Nabokov, and it was supposedly his masterwork, where you couldn't trust the author, you couldn't trust the narrator, and that was, in my opinion, that was like a hint that maybe all of the straight line that you're getting from this movie isn't as straight as you might think. And if you watch the film over a couple of times, you're like, that could work. There really is a lot of hidden Easter eggs that I won't ruin it for you, but
Okay.
yeah.
I do intend to watch it. I do.
But it reminds me of what you're describing here, where like all, then all of a sudden, what the fuck's going on? You know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, to me it was a good story, and it was like they ran out of pages to finish it.
But is it a one shot or is it?
It's a one shot, yeah. And like I was really interested in the characters, and all of a sudden it just ended, and I'm like, I kind of felt like it fell flat.
It was weird because it had a parallel to Old Man Quill, where it was almost like he was trying to get everybody prepared for what was coming, but what was coming was already there. You know, and so
was it?
Or was it? So
Flargle Flargan.
So are they trying to? So is it, again, management? They're trying to hook you into. We got a good response. Everybody's picking this up. Let's turn to a series, sort of thing. Or,
I mean, maybe it will.
I mean, listen. I mean, when the guys' intestines are hanging out at the end,
you saw that
final
right?
page.
I had to zoom in on that.
Yeah, final page. It's just bam. He's just there. But he and the leader of these women banditos who were
So therefore,
basically
banditas.
yes, to be correct. They're all dressed up almost in Day of the Dead makeup.
wait, actually,
Yes, they were.
Wait, in that particular case, because Spanish is a macho language, it might still be banditos.
I wonder.
Yeah.
Well, we need Ramon here for that.
Come
Damn it, Ramon!
Where are you, bastard?
Why aren't you watching? That's what I want to know, you fuck. So,
Scotch.
yes. Man and Superman, the 100-page special.
100-page special.
Encyclopedia.
You're like the only one who read this. You trooped it out 100 pages. I saw that and it was like a little discouraging for me.
Honestly, it was a decent read.
Okay.
That was
quick
like
read.
the
This is like a
1,000, whatever the fuck it was. Actually,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was it a
well,
bunch
I
of different
Still haven't
stories?
finished. That's sitting on
No,
my
it was
shelf.
It was one story. Basically, the author, whose name escapes me, you got it right there.
Marv Wolfman.
Yes,
Marv
Marv
Wolfman.
So this has been a passion project for him that came about in the early 2000s, like 2006, 2007.
Okay.
And it was...
Hasn't he done film too?
I don't know
that name.
I don't know if he has.
Sorry.
He might have since then, but this finally got published. And the reason why it didn't get published for all this time is because they really couldn't find a version of Superman to kind of crowbar it into, because it covers the time. It basically covers almost like a year one story, where he first lands in Metropolis before he's announced to the world that he's Superman, like before he dons the blue tights. Okay, and he's trying to make a name for himself and trying to figure out how to be a hero. So this is actually a 4-part miniseries that got condensed into one book. That was the only way I guess they were going to do it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's actually
if you
a really
figure
fucking cool story.
A comic book is on average now 22 pages.
22 to 32.
So for it to be a
so
4-issue mini,
at 100 pages,
It's not
didn't really
stretch.
condense too much. Then
Right.
it seems.
Yeah.
Okay.
so
I'll bite.
Yeah,
Why not just put it out? Well, you can't really put it out as a graphic novel.
Yeah, because it's only 4 pages.
Yeah,
I mean, this
'cause
is
it's only
essentially
4
a graphic
issues.
novel.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah. I mean, this would be along the same length of a God Loves Man Kills.
Yes, yeah.
You know,
It's
story.
a special, It's,
Right.
Does it
right.
have the same,
it's actually more of a graphic novel than a trade paperback. Yeah,
Yes,
this
without a
is
doubt.
a graphic novel.
Without a doubt.
Does it have
Honestly, it could be one of those, like those hardbound Elseworlds that they used to put out back in the day, like Speeding Bullets or
they kind of like bring up the
Darkest
speed on it.
Night. Yeah,
Right.
Those are good. I
those
like
were good.
But-
Jay Lee artwork too.
Drama-wise and mythos-wise, it kind of plays out almost like, like a prequel to the first Richard Donner films. In that motif, although, it's a
trying
little
to
bit
bring it
more of
back
a
to
modern
that.
take of it.
Yeah.
But he's
finally
constantly...
listened to us. Stop with the dark bullshit.
Right. So it's a classic. It's classic.
That's
Superman.
what I want to see, like the
Yeah.
good classic Superman.
It is a
50s
good classic Superman.
Jaw sort of. Yeah.
Exactly. So they portray that there.
Norman
they basically
Rockwell's
go
Superman.
over how Clark gets the job at the Daily Planet.
Oh, that's cool.
They cover basically his first encounter with Lex Luthor, and it's like, because you're here now, I'm going to put on the blue tights, and now I'm going to show you that if you fuck up, I'm gonna be here.
I always loved the idea of, okay, well, now that we're shooting, now that we have bulletproof vests, they're going to use hollow points.
Right.
The escalation. So,
Yes.
you know, so this is the reverse. Because of Lex Luthor, I'm going to become Superman.
Exactly.
And then because of Superman, Lex Luthor gets more deadly.
Yep. Well, he's already deadly in this story with what goes on. He's basically
so then he's like, okay,
he's almost kind of. He's scheming his way to get, like, he's basically coming back to Metropolis after a 5-year absence that's completely unexplained. Nobody knows what's going on. He and Lois apparently used to date, you know, when they were younger. Okay, cool.
Which is bullshit, because that was fucking what's her name, Lana Lang from Smallville.
There is an origin back in the Golden Age where Lex grew up in Superman's hometown as well. Yes,
I know, with hair, blah blah blah. Yeah.
Yes, and it was Superman's interference that made Lex Luthor's hair fall out. That is an old school origin, man.
Yeah.
They haven't explored that origin in a long time
Since the original Super Friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the last time we saw that.
Yeah.
But once
awesome.
Crisis on Infinite Earths happened, that went by the wayside.
Yeah.
That was when Lex became an evil businessman as opposed to a mad scientist.
Business is the enemy, not the politicians.
I saw you posted that shit.
Yeah,
What's that?
That was a great meme.
It was.
Not to get into politics or anything, but it was like...
Oh, yeah.
When I was like,
the left says...
the government is corrupt, and... no, it's rich businessmen that are
billionaires
corrupt.
are corrupt, and then the right says, no, it's the government that's corrupt, and I'm sitting here like,
Y'all
you do realize that the corrupt billionaires are running the corrupt government, right?
That was good.
3 words: divide and conquer.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's
3
exactly
words.
what's happening.
Kill them all.
Especially the lawyers. We don't like that.
The more I think about it, old Billy was right. Let's kill all the lawyers. Kill them tonight.
What do you call 1,000 lawyers on the bottom of the ocean?
Live like a king. But the big bad world doesn't owe you a thing. I'm impressed with you. I am very impressed. I did not think you would know that song.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Hell freezes over.
Dude, Get Over It is one of my favorite Eagles songs.
It's a great song. I was almost at that concert. Almost.
Dude. That shit was awesome.
Wait,
Kate says, I love that because 4 years of studying politics in college proves that true.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Kate. To continue on with the Lex Luthor idea.
Yeah.
I had an idea for a comic a while back, and whoever's listening, please run with it, because I don't have the faculties or the capital to do it. And I call it the Once and Future Batman. And that was, they finally just had enough of Luthor. And, they had no way of jailing him because he got out all the time. So they decided, the Justice League, they were going to put him 400 years into the future.
Okay.
Right. And let the future handle it after they had 400 years to prep for him, sort of idea.
Right.
And before he left, of course, Luthor is citing every, actual legal right that he has. This is inhumane. I have a right to due process and blah, blah, blah. Batman leans over to him like, I'll see you in 400 years. Literally. And, there was a moment where they shared where Luthor just, he's fucking serious.
Yeah.
And Luthor shows up 400 years later on a rocky sort of beach, and he just hears this clinking, and he's still tied to the fucking thing they sent him to the future, and all of a sudden, just out of frame, Batman comes in, he looks like death warmed over, and he's like, "You didn't think I would actually do it, did you?" And the whole point, the whole point is that the future has become so tame, so peaceful, that there's no progress. There's no impetus for someone to change because everything's perfect.
Right.
So they need somebody like Luthor to fuck things up. So Batman actually makes him the Batman to do exactly that. And I just, I wanted, again.
Wait, he makes Luthor Batman?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I'd love to see that happen. And it doesn't have to be in the way I just formulated, but just Luthor as Batman would be enough.
You either die a villain or you live long enough to see yourself become the hero.
That's interesting. And if any of you out there decide to write and pitch that story,
I really
Do
hope
it.
Just
J.K.
give the man
Woodward is
credit.
listening.
No,
I really
you don't have
do.
to. I just want to see it happen.
I want you to give the man credit.
Give him credit.
Give Pete's Basement the credit.
There you go.
And that'll go to
Wow.
all of us.
Like I would want to do the art for that.
Right?
And I suck at drawing right now, but I would want
I'll
to do
get a
that.
couple of rockets up. We'll do it. But yeah.
That's pretty fucking wild.
Did you
But
bother to read
it's like-
Female Furies?
I did, and I'm sorry I did.
Ew.
Yeah, I wish I could have that 10 minutes back. Like I would have spent it jerking off or something. I don't know.
Yeah, for a very long time.
Yeah, it was like, oh god. The thing
I'll let you
is,
stew on that for a bit.
Jesus Christ.
the thing is, it was trying to be feminist and failed miserably
Uh-huh.
because
how
yeah.
could you do that? Because feminism is so easy nowadays.
right, and like, how do you fuck that up?
That's like
You know-
chauvinism in the 60s.
Pretty much, and it's one of these things where like. I thought I was watching a DC villain episode of Mad Men where they were just making fun of women. Like that's what it played out like. It was fucking bizarre.
And I don't mind the script sort of idea, but there has to be
Right.
something undercurrent to it.
Yeah.
Like Bitch Planet almost worked for me for that reason.
Right. It was just beyond like okay. First
Not
and
Bitch Planet. What am I
foremost.
thinking of? Like the Odyssey. Sorry.
Homers?
Yeah, but they did it with all women this time, which is
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, that didn't work for me.
yeah, because in reality it was Lesbos. It wasn't the Odyssey.
Okay. Like the weird thing about this is that like why am I supposed to care about the Furies? Because they're subservient to Darkseid, like Darkseid's who I should be giving a shit about.
Yeah.
Right.
So first off, you've already got me
Something?
at a disadvantage. Huh?
Something is happening?
Looks okay.
Ruined.
Ruined. This evening is ruined.
So instead of
yeah.
being the Odyssey, it was the Odyssey.
She.
No.
Out of she.
Better. All right.
I need a month
Like,
in the healing
okay.
waters of Themyscira.
Now, true. One of my favorite things that always amuses me is that there is an all-female cover band of AC/DC called AC/DC.
See, but
And the guitar player, her name, I believe legally, is Agnes Young. So,
Did you see the Michael Shannon starring version of The Runaways,
No.
where you saw like how they started with Joan Jett and I forget the other girl's name. I apologize. And they're in a he basically said, "Okay, you come out to my studio," and it was a trailer in the middle of fucking woods.
yeah.
These are 14-year-old girls going out to see a guy in a trailer in the woods to do rock music.
Yeah.
Rock music.
Yeah. So they're freaking out.
Lasers.
So he's like, "Okay, go. Do your song." And they do it, and he's like, "No! No! Rock and roll is about sex. You're up there on stage. I want an orgasm. Give me my orgasm." And then she just belts out Cherry Bomb. It was fucking awesome.
Cherry Bomb.
Nice.
And it was
great
Easily my
fucking
favorite song off the Guardian soundtrack.
Yes.
it was Dakota Fanning, who had just turned
Oh, wow. Yeah,
12
yeah,
and a half. And had a very sexy, not touching scene with the girl from Twilight.
Oh, Kristen Stewart?
Yeah.
Okay.
As Joan Jett.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow, was that nice.
I'd like to do a shot to Kristen Stewart for
Yes,
breaking the Twilight mold and taking her top off in numerous films since.
Thank you.
Fair enough. Okay.
So you guys, you want to hear a terrible joke?
Yes.
I got a terrible joke for you because I was on Reddit the other day reminding myself of truly offensive jokes. Because in preparation for the Pete's Basement extra special of nothing but offensive jokes. So if you're easily offended, you might want to mute the shit now. But if you're easily offended, you definitely don't want to check out that extras that we're going to have up.
Nope. Survey
But
says.
since you had brought up the concept, how many feminists does it take to change a light bulb?
7.5.
0. Feminists can't change a thing.
Get out of here.
That's fucked.
I didn't make it up. I didn't make it up. Don't shoot the messenger.
He's just
Actually, no, I do. I shoot the messenger. I tell people at work. I have a little sign that says I shoot the messenger. And it's a little picture of Vlad the Impaler, like just in case you don't get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he put heads on spikes.
Yes,
No, he didn't just put heads on spikes.
He put
Messenger's heads he put on spikes. If you actively fought against him, then he impaled you.
Yeah.
But heads on spikes was for the messengers that brought
that's
him
great.
news of war or dissenting opinions and stuff.
Do know that the spike for being impaled was not
Was through
sharp.
your ass.
Was not sharp.
I didn't know it wasn't sharp.
Because the body weight itself
Was what pushed you down, yeah. But I still didn't know it wasn't sharp.
Yeah.
That's harsh.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like going back to Robin Hood,
Men in Tights?
Not Men in Tights. Prince of Thieves.
yes.
I'll carve your heart out with a spoon.
Why a spoon, cousin? Why not something
Because
sharp
it's
like a
dull,
it'll hurt
it'll hurt
Don't
more.
interrupt.
Interrupting cows
The
as well.
correct line
This brigand
is
found.
why a spoon, cousin? Why not something sharp like a knife or a sword?
But he literally like cocked
He
his
said,
head
"Why
when
not
he-
an axe?"
Was it an axe?
No,
He said,
he said
Why
a
a
sword.
spoon, cousin? Why not an axe? Because it's dull, you
you know what I'm
twit.
conflating the
It'll
fact that-
Maybe it was an
hurt more.
axe or a
Kills him
sword.
later with a sword because he tests the steel on them.
Yes. Yeah, it's a good steal. And then he drops the sword and walks
Yeah,
away.
I know.
Fucking Alan Rickman.
Love him. God rest your soul,
Hello,
sir.
this
God
is
rest your soul.
Alan Rickman.
Telling you to remember that joke you heard earlier today.
I'm just seeing what's left in this
know, right?
bottle here.
Kate says, "Look, we all know superior Robin Hood is Men in Tights, and I'm inclined to agree." Did anybody have any inkling to see
The new one?
the new one?
No.
Jamie Foxx,
Because the one that is best is the one with
Russell Crowe,
the one that can actually fence.
Errol Flynn?
Errol
you.
Flynn. Yeah.
Yeah, against Basil Rathbone as the Sheriff of Nottingham,
Okay.
who also faced off against.
You can't even compare, like, Errol Flynn's time of movies to what's going on now.
right.
You
Yeah.
can't. Errol Flynn was the man. Captain Blood, for fuck's sake. Like, I grew up on those
No,
movies.
no. Captain Blood, fuck all that. Against all flags.
Fantastic. Like, ridiculous.
I've never seen a saber done that way, where he flicks the top of the saber to the other person's head by doing this, and he bends the sword the top to touch to the other person's head.
That's wild. That's wild.
That's when, like, you couldn't do a trick of the camera. You actually had to know what the fuck you were doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That and
So imagine being the other guy on the receiving end of what has to be a sharp saber to do
best
that.
fucking stuntman ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ballsiest.
Yeah.
Without question.
And they're all clamoring for it too. It's like, dude, I don't need pay. I'll fucking do it. I just want to go home with a scar.
Yeah. Pretty much. And say, "Hey, Errol Flynn did this to me."
Yeah.
You know.
They were all like that back then.
Yeah.
You know, they still are to that. I mean, Greg can tell us that. He sees it all day.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
So we got...
Shit, how many hot chicks have we said we would love to have him kick us in the head?
Right?
Ronda Rousey being
Innumerable.
one of them.
I'd do it. I'd let her flip me
Scarlett
over. do a
Johansson being
flying
another
armbar.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to fight Ronda. Like,
Scar
just, like
Joe.
straight up fight the girl.
I do that too, just to see where I am.
Yeah.
You know? I get beat.
Let's see how this goes.
And I saw on WWE the other day, and that was just horrendous. But
Well, it's all scripted. I mean,
I do
she's-
appreciate
She's getting-
the
yeah, it's theater, she's
the
getting a
rowdy
paycheck.
Roddy Piper homage, though.
Nope.
No?
nope,
No.
It wasn't done
Disrespectful?
right.
Well,
Wasn't that
I have
right?
to give her props because she is the voice of Sonya Blade in the new Mortal Kombat that's coming out in April. So
The suckiest combat in all of Mortal Kombat, other than
Okay.
Jax, which is an
Is-
insult to black people everywhere.
actually, based off of the trailer, Sonya got some new moves.
Wait a minute. Wait a
so
minute. I have
give
a
it a
pertinent
shot.
question.
Sure.
pertinent.
Is the Shaggy
Wait,
thing
before
actually
you go in there.
happening?
What?
Pertinent and onomatopoeia. This
No,
guy's not an idiot.
I don't believe so.
So the Shaggy thing's he's not actually a character?
No.
This is all goof?
That's all a goof. I believe so.
Shaggy
I fervently
like-
believe
Shaggy
so.
like-
Shaggy
Shaggy or
Scooby
Shaggy
Doo.
Scooby-Doo?
No, I don't. if NetherRealm decides
Because
to do
I heard a petition like got it done.
if they decide to do it, it's not going to be in the base game. It might show up as a DLC.
That's still whack.
It's still whack, but I honestly would be a little intrigued to see what they did, because they brought in the horror film guys as a character pack in MKX. They had Alien. They had
If
Jason
Shaggy
Voorhees,
is John
they had
Wick,
Predator.
I'm in.
There you go.
If they
Now we're
have
talking.
Scooby come in as a fatality and eat the guy,
That would be
The
sick.
fatality is...
Scooby snacks and
Yeah.
he just fucking
Yeah.
eats them.
The only
Maybe
problem
this could
is-
work.
eats his balls after he
The only
puts-
problem is the only
Peanut butter
Shaggy
crisp.
voice I will accept is anybody
Casey
trying
Kasem.
to do a Casey Kasem impression,
Scooby.
because Casey's been dead for
Scooby.
God knows how for years and years.
Did you see the...
Or is he? No, he is.
No, he
Did you
is.
see the Birdman Attorney at Law where they...
I have not, but
Okay. There was a case brought against the Mystery Machine people that they were doing illicit drugs while on...
Duty?
on duty.
Yeah.
That's great. That's
And-
fantastic. That's a brilliant concept.
Harvey Birdman was their attorney. So, like, there was actual video of, you just see smoke coming out of, like, a door. And it's literally from one of, like, the shows. And you hear Shaggy saying, "Hey, I just figured it out! Scooby, Dooby, Doo!" And they're like, laughing. They're like, Dooby.
Yeah.
Like,
We didn't get that.
why are they hungry all the time?
Why are they hungry all the time?
Why do they want to eat all that
First
food?
of all, for anyone who has hot boxed a car of any sort, I'm not saying I have, but for anyone who has, if there is smoke coming out of any window, you're doing it wrong. Just gonna tell you.
Keep them fucking windows closed.
Keep the windows closed.
Keyword choke.
Truly, you haven't lived until you've hotboxed a bathroom with the hot shower on. No one's in the shower. No one is in the shower. Just let's cover that. You have 9 people,
Or are they?
3 blunts, and Beatles songs. A cappella.
Whoa. Which
Going
Beatles?
Wow.
Which Beatles? Like
Yellow
McCartney
Submarine.
years? Yellow
No,
Submarine?
like anything where
Sgt.
they're all
Pepper's
together.
have,
like everything
Hearts,
from
yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
like Help all the way up.
Mother.
And then when the
That's like acid level.
when the
Just don't do
blizzies
the
are
White
blizzed,
Just don't do the White Album, because that's
no,
that was
no,
Manson.
no.
So.
the blizzies are blizzed, the shower comes off, the door opens, the smoke begins to billow across the ceiling like the fog, and everybody else just infests the rest of the party, like just leaves the bathroom. And they have no idea what's going on.
That's like shaman and
Kate,
fucking,
get
like,
out of my head. Like, Jesus. She said
What'd she
before or after the White Album.
way before.
Yeah, seriously. Like, holy-
Not enough drugs for the White Album.
Absolute says, I think Ed Boon debunked the Shaggy.
Thank God.
But honestly, like, I could see that coming out as as part of a character pack.
There are
If they
cooler
can get
characters to do than Shaggy.
Without a doubt. But if they were to be able to get the licensing,
You know, here's a question.
Yeah.
All right, wait, while we're on the subject. What cartoon or movie 80s character that has not already been shown in MK would you want to play as? Who would you want?
Thundar.
Thundar the Barbarian.
that's not bad.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all, actually.
With that sword on the fucking wrist.
Yes.
Honestly,
And his Chewbacca
well,
friend, not Chewbacca friend.
piggybacking off of that, I would do Conan.
There you go.
Conan is pretty. Yeah,
Which is
Conan's
basically the
really
same-
fucking
yeah.
good.
Yeah, kind of.
It's
like Thundar's campier.
Thundar is basically just a future version of Robert E. Howard. That's all.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Which, by the way,
Hot on the heels of that,
Huh?
Space Ghost needs to be in a fighting game.
no, I was gonna say yes to that. Wow, that'd be awesome. With puns and all.
Yes. and I mean, I believe it was Seth MacFarlane that was actually doing his voice
Really?
for
'Cause he was on the show a
Cartoon
couple
Network.
times.
Because Seth MacFarlane, he got his start working on Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, he did.
So, I could totally hear
He
Seth MacFarlane
was
doing.
Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, And I believe, like, I think I could totally see him as.
Did you see his outtakes where he pitched this one cartoon where it basically was Peter and Brian, but it wasn't Peter and Brian.
Right.
Yeah. And he had this like promo where it really was him talking, like introducing the comic. The cartoon. And the guy comes in and serves him coffee, and he's like, no, you don't have to do that. We're in America now. You don't have to use gloves.
So wait, now correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
But and I know I saw this, but I don't know if it was real or not because I haven't played video games in a while. Were the Ninja Turtles in a Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
Like, did it happen? Did it actually happen?
But it
No, that was part of. I thought that was
Maybe
part
it was
of
Injustice. Was that it?
Injustice. Yeah.
Okay, because I knew they showed up and it was like all four of them, and you would just like have like a.
But
Yeah,
it was movie
weird.
Turtles.
Yeah.
It was weird because I think it was
wasn't
one
weird, it was
character.
awesome.
It was one character, but depending on which variation you chose,
You got a different turtle.
got a different
yeah.
turtle.
But
So
then they
yeah,
had
that
super
was it.
moves that involved all of them and shit. Yeah.
Right, and
So
right.
let's play off that.
yeah.
And for Mortal Kombat, I think we need Shredder. And maybe, just maybe, as in like an extra, Casey Jones.
Oh,
With all of the fucking,
I'll take it. I'll take it another step. I'll take it a further step. If you're gonna do stuff like that, no, screw that. Mortal Kombat, you gotta throw in Mumm-Ra.
let me see your tits,
my dear.
desert dicks.
Listen, having Mumm-Ra and Lion-O as part of a character pack in Mortal Kombat would be
Mumm-Ra,
epic.
the ever living,
And have his X-ray or his other like super move, have him like switch back and forth between
yes,
forms.
you slip underneath the guy and come back.
Yeah.
Well, teleporting with like some fucking,
Yeah.
the rags come falling off and pop
exactly.
back up.
And then the second guy that comes down to do the alternate attack is his dog, right?
Yeah,
Marmot. Yeah, exactly.
You are wise to be nervous, Marmot. The ancient spirits of evil will either give me the power I wish or condemn me to burn forever in demon fire.
You got a little bit of Iron Sky in there too.
I have no idea what that means.
That would be some epic shit, honestly.
Shameless plug. I wrote a book a few years ago, and the way I want to take it is through a lot of Egyptology, but I don't know enough about it, so I wanted to wait until I did it. In any case, I'm firmly on the camp of not aliens, but there have been more civilizations than our civilization.
Oh, yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Show.
Do you think aliens are just us from the future?
No.
Oh, fuck.
Isn't that like part of the basis of Scientology almost?
No,
To a certain
so
extent?
it goes
It's
way
straight up
rappier.
aliens, yeah.
Aliens, yeah. Not
straight up aliens.
Because in order for time travel to really work, in my opinion, you would have to know so infinitesimally the vibration of where you are versus where you're going. That it's just impossible. You would just end up in a spot that was so close to where you are, where you came from, but really
Well, what
wasn't.
most people don't realize about time travel is you also have to not only travel through time, but space. Because if you end up in the same
is
time,
space.
but if you end up at the same time, like here and now, but at a different point in time where the Earth is not here, you're going to be like,
This is true, but time is a construct. Time is something that humans can understand the universe.
well,
It doesn't exist.
Time is flat. It's just a...
Like, I can measure this. I can know how big this is. I cannot measure, truthfully, time. It doesn't exist. It's relative. It's relative
Yes.
to the three of us in this room, the people on that.
And it's relative
Side of
to
it.
the
I have a
constructs that
book
we've
over there
adopted.
somewhere that says, "What is time?" And I don't remember who it's by.
Yeah.
But you've
Yeah.
probably read it.
Yeah.
Well, no,
Time-
not necessarily. I hate his Hawking stuff. I thought it was too.
I don't. It's not
simplistic.
Hawking. I don't know who it is, but
Okay.
it's over there. I'll show it to you before you leave.
Please and thank you.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Time is also wibbly wobbly, as Doctor Who.
Timey-wimey.
Fuck
wibbly
him
wobbly.
and fuck his screwdriver. It's so simplistic, it's annoying.
Kate said, "This is what happens when I have too much whiskey after a long week."
We've definitely been having a lot of whiskey. Let's try to get back on track.
So, Kate,
we
we
have
love
this-
you tonight.
yes, open it.
Okay.
Open that motherfucker. Finish that motherfucker.
I have to drive, so this is all
No.
I'm gonna have.
Yeah, well, you maybe do. But you have to have at least one of these. Chris brought it.
You have to. It's
No, you have to.
I've had it before.
Doesn't
so-
matter.
Jesus.
Where's
to have
the
it
open
now.
area?
I don't know. I'll leave that to you.
Well, no, you gotta pull the wrapper off the top and then pop the
Son
cork.
of a
The
biscuit.
Girl in the Bay from Dark Horse Comics.
Which should have been good.
It
I
should've been-
enjoyed it.
I thought it was cool. I thought it could be better.
I'm glad it didn't go the cliche route
Yeah.
because I thought that's where it was going. Okay, let me
Right.
explain this. So let's throw the cheese down for a hot second because I'm going to spoil the story
not
for
me,
you.
but actual cheese.
Yeah, not you. Just don't fall.
No,
Can I
Don't fall.
throw you, please? No.
I mean, I'm light enough. You probably could.
So this girl's out partying in the 60s.
Maybe.
She's doing all sorts of psychedelic drugs and shit, partying with her friends. And she's out on a night out, 1969, and
In
she encounters
Sheepshead
this
Bay,
guy.
of all
Yeah, in
places.
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And this guy, he's kind of good looking. They get to talking and whatever, and they, they take a nice long walk along the bay. Maybe the East River didn't stink at that point. And,
I had
She
some
runs
clams
it-
from there the other day. It
she
was
leans in
fine.
to kiss him, and he stabs her, which is what you do if a girl tries to kiss you. And, that's...
Because I stab them all
'cause
the time.
You didn't consent to that, so stab. That's how it
Feminism.
goes, right? Stab.
He was basically being reverse raped, and he
I
was
mean,
defending his
hey, he stabbed. He stabbed.
Sure.
And he dumped her in the river.
Yes.
And then she came up out of the river.
50
and
years later.
50, but we don't know that
Well, yeah. Somewhere.
right away. She's walking around, and
Oh yeah.
I would have liked to see a little bit more research on the art team to get a setting better. Like,
Yeah.
give me the background of 1960s Brooklyn versus 2019 Brooklyn.
Right. Yeah.
I understood where they were going. I understood as soon as she come up out of the water that she's in the modern era. I have read a few comics in my life to know that when she came up out of that water, she's in the present time.
Yes. And I kind of saw that coming.
Yeah, without question.
I
But
saw that coming.
what I was
see that
expecting, what I thought was going to happen, was she was going to get to her house. She was going to encounter her neighbor. I knew that was her neighbor she was talking to.
Right.
And she, the girl, was going to have disappeared all those
Yes.
years ago.
Yes.
But that didn't
Missing
happen.
person story. No.
Didn't happen.
Not only
she
did
existed.
Yeah.
She
not only
lived.
did she get transported 50 years in the future.
She got transported into another dimension. Yes.
Which is what happens when you get transported to...
Which is what happens
Which
when you
happens
get
when you get
stabbed and
stabbed in the
dumped in the
stomach.
East River.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people know that, but if you do get stabbed and dumped in the East River, you come out in another dimension.
Now,
That's Wednesday.
Yeah. And if you don't believe us,
The
we'll
key-
stab you and dump you in the East River.
If you donate to
Peace
Patreon.
Basement will not actually stab you.
We will not actually stab you.
Unless you... hit
Unless you write a fully written consent form that is signed by lawyers that says, your next of kin can't sue us for stabbing you and dumping you in the river. Because there's no actual proof that you didn't come out in another dimension. There's not.
out.
There's not.
I mean, listen, the East River is radioactive enough this could possibly happen.
Exactly where I was going. Thank you.
Yeah. But, okay, so as weird enough as the story has become, because you're just like, wait a minute, hold the phone. It's like, you're face to face with your future self.
Yes.
As if you
And
were
you're
never
freaking
stabbed.
out.
Yeah. And you're flipping the fuck out. And, okay, first and foremost, the fact that future self didn't immediately recognize yourself from 50 years ago, that's a red
But she
flag.
thought it was her sister's daughter.
Right.
Because her sister went the darker route with heavy drugs and God knows what else
Yeah, so
and
it's the
everything.
alternate dimension.
Yeah.
So things
Because,
blah, 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 blah.
God knows I partied back in my day, but, my sister when, for the
Yeah,
long
my
haul.
sister's the one who went crazy.
See, this
Right.
is boring to me because this is just quantum. In quantum physics, anything that can't happen will happen.
Right.
And therefore, it has happened in an alternate dimension.
Well, yeah, but that's like
Yeah.
the whole idea here.
Like, there's actually a good version of Pete occurring right now in an alternate
yeah,
dimension.
where I'm not
Which
an
I will
asshole.
never go to.
The fact that
No, absolutely not.
the fact that this didn't go the cliche route of she disappeared all those years ago is what interested me.
Right.
Where she encounters her living self, who's now 50, 60 years old, a grandmother.
Yeah, she's... Yeah.
I expected her to encounter her sister.
Yeah.
And who's like, oh my God, it's you. How are you still young after all these years? And I didn't get that. And I'm
But
like,
then you go through
all
the whole
right.
Bill and Ted thing of like, oh, well, I'll just remember to kill that person back then.
Hey, maybe
Yeah.
that has to happen.
But
You know what I
the
remember?
the biggest key is this mystical-looking creature in a painting that comes
Yeah,
to life.
that keeps like trying to reach out for her.
Yeah.
And she's all green and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is obviously like I think that this particular sprite or sorceress or whatever the fuck you want to call her,
Sprite's a good word.
has something to do.
This story has a lot more
With
to
her.
unfold.
Yes.
Like before we really realize what's going on.
Yeah.
But
So I'm interested.
It feels like, what the fuck am I thinking?
Feels like with spandex.
See, now I'm gonna lowbrow myself for a second. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Okay, I love that movie. I also like the book.
The guy who Portrait of Dorian Gray.
Yes.
The painting you were just talking about.
yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Well, the painting never reached out for him. Like this creature, this green woman is in the painting, and she like whenever somebody's not looking,
tries
she's like
to step out of said painting.
and she like just right out of reach.
Yeah.
And she
Just-
does step out of the painting every
She
now
does,
and then.
yeah, she does.
So you don't know what her intentions. You don't know if she's
Yeah.
good or bad or otherwise.
Yeah, you notice her in the water, like in the very first scene.
And then you notice, like, as the transition is being made from 1969 to 2019, there's that, like, greenish fog, like that watery fog that's going around until she officially gets there.
yeah,
Like, this definitely gets the rule of three for me. I'm
Yeah.
going to give you 3 issues and see what you tell me about this story.
Which
Agreed.
fucking Die knows adamantly because 2 pissed me off to the point I'm done. And then I saw 3 on the shelf. I'm like, all right, let me just look at it. All right, fine, I'll pick it up. Like, if I don't like it, I'm done. And then 3 hooked me in. So I'm like, fuck.
I was hooked in immediately from that. And
Yes, I was too, but
you weren't
2
hooked in from the magic order from the start, which surprises me. I was.
It's because of the fact
I still
that
need to get on that shit.
Dude, you really do.
I do.
It's only 6 issues. Just read it.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good. Issue 5, you'd be like,
Because again, going back to what I mentioned about Doctor Strange, magic as a scientist means nothing to me.
I want
It's
you to do me a favor.
unquantifiable.
All right? When you have a half hour to spare, go on Netflix and
Shit,
watch
that'll
Death
never
by Magic. This new show. It's only like 8 episodes. You can watch it over like, you're eating lunch or something. Good show. Basically, this dude goes around to different parts of the world and he explores local legends of magicians who died doing magic tricks in that region.
Houdini.
And Houdini is one of them. Houdini's like the second episode.
Yep.
And he recreates the magic trick that killed them and tries to succeed at it.
Houdini doesn't make any sense to me because
Well, so Houdini died under different circumstances. He was punched by a boxer and his appendix burst. It's different.
okay,
But
that makes more sense now.
yeah.
Because the whole idea of like safes is that they keep people out, not.
But this guy is not only a magician, but he's also a mentalist. Like, he guesses things about you by just sitting there talking with you, like having conversations with you. Just watch one show. I'm not explaining it. I'm not doing it justice. Watch one of these guys' shows. He's fucking awesome. And to all of you guys out there, Death by Magic, go watch it because this show needs as many views as possible because it needs a second season. This guy is super talented. He's awesome. I only know him as Drummond from the show, and he's not Mr. Drummond from Different Strokes. That's all I know. It's not him. It's a
Fair
dope
enough.
show, but like you
Hashtag
know,
not
you
racist.
talk about magic and everything. Like the magic order, like when I saw the use of the spells and how they acted and interacted with the people, and like it was really, I guess, the second issue that did it. And I maybe you didn't get the second issue, but when they were in that room, that suddenly started to change with time. That was like, holy shit, this is fucked up.
No, Pete's right. Like after issue 1, I was like, all right, I'm done. That was nice. I'll put that in the vault. So I should have did the rule 3. Just tried
Push through this one and see if you like it.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll be disappointed.
Okay.
And I think I want you
Well,
like
it's Mark Millar. I mean, I generally like everything that he's done,
text me after
including and up to and including MPH and
MPH was great.
Yeah.
When you're done with issue 4, text me and see and let me know if you like it and if you see where it's going, because issue 5, honest to God, I did not see the twist coming. My jaw hit the floor and I'm like, holy shit.
I see. This is like kind of reverse psychology, almost like challenge accepted. I want to hate it because I want to prove Pete wrong.
Do it. If you hate it, let's talk about it. I want to know why you hate it. Let's do it. That's what the show's all about.
I got to come up with that now.
All right, so read it and let me know what you think. I genuinely want to know. My mother loves the story. She loves the story.
Your mother's awesome.
Yeah.
I love her comments on Punisher.
She even said, like, that's all he got after getting his face slammed against the mirror? Like, we must have, like, the second episode. That's it. It's like, he should have looked worse. I'm like, I know, Ma. I know.
that I know we've talked about this before, but just to insert an interesting tidbit, I've been very blessed to train with a 7th degree black belt by the name of Ali Albarigo, and he's trained with so many different people, including the 35th Grandmaster of Ninjutsu. He loves Punisher season 2, and he's one of those gentlemen that doesn't put out an accolade very often, and when he does, I jump on it. When he said that Arrow was a good thing to watch, I jumped on it, and that was the whole salmon ladder. Thing. Yeah.
So let's test out this Woodford Reserve Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. God, I'm gonna hate this.
The only triple
Yeah, you're not a
distilled-
fan of bourbon,
No,
are
I'm
you?
not.
Oh, he did the swish. He did the swish.
Ooh, it's sharp.
Ooh, that
It's got
is
some bite
sharp.
to it.
It's young versus the previous White Walker. Oh, it burns.
Oh, it does. Oh, it does. All right.
Pretty good.
So last but not least, we've got Aftershocks Oberon or Oberon, however you want to say
Oberon,
that.
the king of the fairies.
I loved this book, and if Ramon was here, he would know that I loved this book.
Yes, he would.
Everything about this screams me. This is about children being drawn into a fantastical world. This is everything, every RPG from Nintendo to Sega to Super Nintendo to
Blaster Master.
This
This
is-
is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yeah.
This is all that shit.
absolutely. It's everything. Every good RPG was made from. It's
But
Chrono
does it have an
Trigger. It's
English
everything.
accent? No, I'm just kidding.
It does not. I mean, it could have an English accent.
the-
There's nothing saying it doesn't.
Well, okay, the way Oberon is drawn, he should have...
He could have an
he
English
should have-
accent.
He should have a fucking
He could have one of those like
Romanian accent.
you know those old school like Hollywood accents where they're not English but they're very proper.
Yes.
It's
Without a
Atlantic,
doubt.
mid-Atlantic.
Yes, that you actually explained that accent to
Yeah,
me.
this is like a Cary Grant accent.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Yeah.
So this girl is being raised in San Francisco. She's being homeschooled. She's protected from everyone. She has no friends. Her sister's like,
And her
get out there and
her
make
older
friends. Her
sister
sister's
is
like
not.
a normal
She's a normal kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, you're like, mom and dad homeschool you. You have no friends. And she's like, I have friends. I have you, mom, dad, the librarian, you know?
Yeah, and
And
you're
she's
like,
like, no, that
"That's
doesn't
a red
fucking
flag."
count.
That's a red flag.
So she goes to the library. She looks up some books. And then she's walking home. And she encounters this garbage demon who was being like summoned by this guy in a ball cap and a jacket.
Gamora.
and she is suddenly saved by this guy who appears out of nowhere and says, "Get in my cape." And she's like, "What? Get in the cape. Trust me, you don't want to deal with this thing." So she, being a kid, runs into the cape, and she appears in this new fantastical world of saber-toothed unicorns, which was fucking dope.
That was sick.
And, you know,
Unicorns
fairies
that will bite
and,
your fucking head off.
you know, little trolls and all kinds of things.
They should.
Yes.
Yo, it
And
was
Thornberry.
it was really
a
fucking cool.
frog with a sword.
Well, yeah, we didn't even
yeah.
get to that yet.
Well, yeah.
Well, but the
But
unicorn
I wasn't
thing.
being silly with regards to the garbage monster, because that is a reference to Sodom and Gomorrah.
Oh.
Huh. I only know the Golgotha, the shit
Right.
demon.
Yeah, the shit demon, which is you're thinking of like what we saw in.
And Jade Silent Bob,
Thank you.
which is actually a thing.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, look that up.
Very similar. I mean, shit and garbage, same thing. Anyway.
Yeah.
But you know what you she's like, "Oh my god, are those unicorns?" And this guy Oberon was like, "Yeah, but I wouldn't get too close. Once unicorns develop a taste for human flesh, they really rarely like anything else." And the unicorn just and it's got vampire fangs, and I'm like, "That's fucking dope."
But
Yeah.
that makes perfect sense from a historical perspective, because in every tapestry that you see, the lion and the unicorn fighting in winter. So how would a unicorn, which is basically a fucking horse, deal with a lion?
Yeah. She's got to have sharper fangs than him.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So and throughout this Oberon, King of the Fairies, he tells her,
Which
Your
is
life
a
is a
terrible
lie.
title. Like immediately you think gay.
but she says like,
Wow.
but aren't fairies like a bunch of little small magical creatures like some
Yeah.
of us are? Not all of us. So, you know, we have different classes, different,
There's
races,
a hierarchy
whatever.
to
Yeah.
this. Yes.
So he's like, your whole life is a lie. Your parents aren't your parents. They're your guardians. All the books in your room are alive. They're guarding you.
Yeah.
Your whole life is being guarded.
Yeah,
Against
you live
something.
in a cage.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And you don't
Awesome.
even know it.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to free
Which
you
is
from this.
an allegory for what people are going through their own lives, but are too afraid to talk
To
about.
get
Yes.
out of, perhaps, yes.
Yeah.
And so she's like, no, I just want to go home. He's like, okay, well, take this bell, and anytime,
You need
whenever,
me, ring it 3 times.
yeah, just ring it.
Bell.
Yes.
Interesting.
So
What was the metal made of?
they didn't mention
They
it. It's
didn't
just
go
a bell.
into that.
So she goes back and she is now talking to her parents about this whole experience. Like, no, he teleported me to this magical realm with saber-toothed unicorns, and he gave me this bell to ring, and he said that you guys weren't my parents and all this. And he's like, no, honey, just go to sleep. I have to talk to your father about some stuff.
Yeah, forgettable.
So all of a sudden she starts. This seemed a little bit quick, but she
Yes.
starts talking to the bookcase. And she's like, you guys alive or whatever? And all of a sudden, the book, she rips a page out of the book, and the book started attacking her.
Yes.
I'm like,
and that was exactly what Oberon said to her.
It's so Peter Pan,
he
it's
said,
ridiculous.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh, totally. He says, your story could be your story, but once you rip out a page instead of thumbing through it, that's when everything changes. That's
He
what he was.
did say that.
He was alluding to that. She rips out a page, and then all
that
of a
was
sudden, all the
exactly.
books come
You're
to life.
right. That's exactly what he said, and that's what she did. I forgot that.
Yep.
So now everything changes. The books are alive. The parents run in like, honey, what's going on? And hey, holy shit, everything's true. You guys have been lying to me. And she takes out the bell, and they're like, no, don't. She's like, fuck you guys. And she rings the bell,
3 times.
and Oberon comes, and he takes her in the cape and makes her escape. And
They disappear.
she's like, the mother's like, let the king or whoever know.
We have to contact Titania.
Titania, yeah. Titania, whatever. Oberon has the child.
veil is ripped off.
Yeah, exactly. So the moment I read that part, I immediately thought Midsummer Night's Dream. I thought Shakespeare, because that was my introduction to Oberon and Titania. And the fact that Oberon is trying to get back his kingdom, it's like, okay.
Is that a Shakespeare thing? Because I've never read.
Yeah.
What is it?
Midsummer Night's Dream.
Okay.
I still have yet to read it, and it really
Never a fan of Shakespeare. I tried. I really did.
ever since
I love
Gargoyles, the series,
Sure.
I really wanted to read it. For
It's funny you mentioned that because we discussed that last week. You want to lose more respect for me? Never saw Gargoyles.
Are you fucking kidding me?
See?
Can I shiv you with a
I would prefer you didn't.
with a
Use one of his Mega Man pop figures.
That's
Yeah,
just
dude.
cold.
Use Cutman, actually.
I use Doctor Who. He uses a screwdriver.
Jesus Christ, bro.
So
And I heard it's really good.
Yeah.
interesting the use of bell. Sound has a big reference in a lot of medieval literature. The French chansons de Roland were before he was killed, he blew out the horn.
He's smart. Go on.
No, and I take no credit for this. I give all credit to my teacher in Medieval Heroes and Warriors, which was Dr. Kurth at Stony Brook. Talked about this. So, Chanson de Roland, Gabriel, when he impregnated Mary with the Holy Spirit by his horn, when Achilles blew the horn before he raided,
Troy.
thank you, sound is a big...
What about the 3 trumpets and the walls of Jericho?
Thank you.
Huh?
Yeah, they went around it.
Yeah,
5
3 times, yeah, 5 times, 10 times, whatever it was. I don't remember.
Yeah, and then they blew the trumpet.
Sound is vibration, and vibration is pretty much what the universe is built upon. Frequency, vibration.
I don't agree with
All
it,
of
but there's a physics theory of superstrings that deals in vibration, that at the core of the atomic level, how everything is mapped out is through vibrations.
Yes.
Well,
So,
I mean, it's how the Flash works.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, he vibrates so fast, he goes through walls, he vibrates, it goes
And they say that multiversal, universal theory, that it's just another universe vibrating on a different pattern than we are.
So then
Yes.
bringing it back down to center, what I've noticed is that things run in patterns, and that is basically a sine or a cosine, up and down, and up and down.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
Waveform.
right. So the fact that the key to this whole story is a magic bell, that's awesome.
Yeah,
And the thing
because
that,
in and of itself is
Pete,
the waveform.
Pete touched on earlier that we didn't mention was there's this like frog guy. He's like a frog knight, like straight out of Chrono Trigger.
Yes.
And he guards this lantern that must always stay lit because the whole world, this universe, was guarded against the Nevermen. And if the lantern ever goes out, the Nevermen will return.
Yes.
Eternal flame.
And then at some point, he's just standing there and poof, the light
Yeah,
goes out.
once Oberon pulls this girl for good, she voluntarily decides to join him.
The light goes out.
To this realm. That's when the light goes out.
And it should also be mentioned that Oberon is trying to regain his kingdom from who
he's
we
been
don't really
dethroned.
know.
Possibly Titania.
Possibly.
Possibly.
And this is a Shakespeare thing, so I have to
Yeah.
read A Midsummer Night's Dream,
Yes.
kind of, in order to get maybe a little bit of a
was
backstory.
Titania is his queen.
Okay.
She's the queen of the fairies, and you have Puck and a whole host of other
I love
situations. I haven't read it since high school, and I really
Maybe
need to
this
go
is
back
the time
and
to
read
go
again.
back to it because
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this story.
Yeah.
And Aftershock is always really delivered
Yes.
when it comes to cool shit.
Yes.
And the fact that from listening to you and the explanation with sound and bells and, I had no idea that this touched on Shakespeare.
Yeah.
This sounds like it's drawing from a lot of different shit.
Oh yeah.
This is, without question, if you hadn't figured it out, Book of the Week. Obviously. This was the first one I read because,
Right.
this was in alphabetical
Alphabetically.
order. This was like Aftershock, Oberon, and I'm like, this is fucking dope.
Yeah. I have
And
to
the
slightly
artwork was really
the
good,
artwork
too.
was on point. It was beautiful.
And
Absolutely gorgeous.
Can we just spoil something for a hot second here? Let's throw the cheese down for a moment. The muck demon, the garbage monster that she fought and escaped from, was all part of Oberon's plan in the
Yes.
first place.
Yeah.
The
And
dude
that-
that summoned him was his servant.
Yes. And that is where you're like, okay, Oberon,
Are you a scumbag or not?
exactly? So that raises the questions like, who the fuck am I rooting for here?
Right.
And it basically comes down to, a parallel between The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, where it's like, okay, I'm not rooting for Aslan. I'm not rooting for
The White Queen.
the White Queen.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for the kid.
Yeah,
I'm
and
rooting for
that's
the kids. And it's like, okay, she has some sort of really deep significance to this story.
But we don't know what yet.
We don't know what yet, but she's about to become a badass.
See, but that's the root of a good story. It is the relatability of the fact that I can see myself in that person or person.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. Same thing with Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe. Like, those kids had never pulled a sword out of a scabbard before.
Right.
And
Well, then they just simply haven't lived. Clearly, they've never played Shining Force back in the day.
Dude, now we're talking.
Shining Force.
God, I
Hell
love that
yeah.
game. I
So
fucking
good.
love that game.
So good.
Now, Dragon Force was supposed to be
Dragon
a
Force was
spiritual
fucking
sequel.
dope.
That was a spiritual sequel
Really?
to the Shining Force
My
series. It was the same
favorite-
company.
My favorite
Was Working Designs.
Yeah, it was
Wait,
working
wait,
designs.
Shining Force was made by Working Designs?
I believe they were, yeah.
No.
I
My
believe they were.
favorite move in that was
Lunar was made by Working Designs, but I'm not sure about Shining Force.
So was Shining Force, yeah.
Sega Genesis, and then
It was like a
Sega CD.
spiritual, faithful.
But I love getting through all of the fights with General Cavalry, and then just saying melee, and
Yeah.
just seeing everything going.
Yeah.
Like I love
Yeah.
watching all that stuff.
Yeah, basically where it was like, all right, we're done fucking around. Charge!
Yep.
That
We're
was
gonna
it.
eradicate
And then,
you.
at the best thing about it was at the end, all the enemies are dead. Now it's a duel.
Yep. It's like, all right, kill them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
It's so amazing that
Did you guys ever play fucking Dragon Force on Sega CD?
Sega Saturn.
Man, fucking,
It was Sega
yes.
Saturn.
Was it Saturn?
It was the Sega Saturn. And I know
Marduk
this-
was the evil god, yes.
Madrick, yeah.
Madrick,
Madrick,
yes.
Yeah, Madrick and Harzball.
And it was narrated by Galleon himself, John Truitt.
no shit.
Yes, from Luna the Silver Star.
Dude, oh my god.
Working Designs, baby.
Wow, yeah.
John Truitt, where the fuck are you? You had one of the best voice acting skills
Yes.
ever.
Yes, Galleon was one of my favorite villains.
Come on the show.
Even more so than Kefka in Final Fantasy
Yeah,
VI.
Kefka was insane. Kefka
Yeah.
was like Luther gone wild. Galleon had
But you
class.
know what? Okay, the beautiful thing that Kefka and Galleon had in common is they fucking succeeded.
Yeah.
They won.
So
And
did
then you have to
Galleon,
kick their
arguably, because by Lunar, the Lunar Eternal Blue, not only was he the Dragon Master, but he could have beaten all of them, and he
Yes.
sacrificed himself nobly.
yeah, because that is the better death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember playing Lunar Eternal Blue, and they got to the part and they showed the scene from original Lunar where Vane was destroyed, and everything happened with like the grindery and everything,
Yeah.
and Luna the goddess and everything, and they're like, what was that? And all of a sudden you hear John True like, that was a record of my finest work. And then Galleon comes out and we're like,
You're like, oh shit.
Where's the pause button?
me and Anthony Morena lost our shit at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck you, Anthony, if you're watching this, awesome.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man. Lunar.
Which they actually have the Silver Star Story, which is the PS1
The PlayStation
game.
version, yes.
It's also available for mobile.
I saw
And I
that,
have it.
yes.
I would know.
Is it
On
just
this
as good?
motherfucker. It's
Does it lose anything?
It doesn't really lose much. Like, it's faithful to the PS1 version, which
Okay.
I still have in storage. Boxed away.
I've got both the place,
Yeah.
both Lunar Eternal Blue and Lunar Silver Star Story, packed away as the PlayStation version because I couldn't in my heart get rid
I
of.
still have my original PS1. I still have it. It's fucking beat to shit, but I still have it.
Whatever, as long as it plays.
Yeah.
I couldn't afford it at that point. I got to the PS2, and I still have that somewhere.
But
That
getting
will
back
play
to-
the PS1s.
Getting back to Sega Saturn, I had 3 or 4 key games for the Sega Saturn before I traded it in to get the PS1. Mm-hmm. Dragon Force, Virtua Fighter,
Yeah.
and Guardian Heroes.
Guardian Heroes, I had that too. What the fuck was Guardian
That was
Heroes?
a side-scroll beat-em-up. There was the multi-level side-scroll beat-em-up. where you had the ninja, you had the knight, you had the wizard, you had
Didn't play it. I'll be honest.
it was
Yeah.
like it was.
I'd
was
have to
cool
see a
because-
screenshot. It's
because-
probably popping up right now because I like
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah. The game played out like story wise. It played out like a choose your own adventure because you had a multi-tiered. You had multiple paths to go down
Right.
to finish out the story, and stories would end early. They would end late,
I have
whatever
a
it is that you
vague
went through.
recollection of that.
And each stage that you chose would push it along.
There was also Shining Force 3
Yeah.
on Sega Saturn that we never actually got the conclusion to.
Yeah,
But, you
I
know,
didn't even get to. I
never-
didn't even get to finish Shining Force 2.
Wait, whoa,
I know.
whoa.
I know.
But Sega CD, the best thing ever on Sega CD, Sewer Shark.
Sewer Shark! Yes!
Shoot the tubes, Rat Breath.
Yes! Beach Bum! That's your new call sign!
I actually never got to play that.
I beat
Actually,
that
never-
fucking game.
It's-
And that is
wow.
that shit is hard.
I'd be happy to dig that out of storage and play with you, sir.
Did you ever listen
take
to
you
the
up on that.
soundtrack?
Sure,
I would
sir.
totally take you up on that.
Yeah.
Did you ever get to the last track on the soundtrack?
No, I was
When
not blessed
they-
enough to do that.
I just put it in a CD player.
Yes.
And they all of a sudden it's a phone call. It's like, brr, brr. Hello?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Hello, Digital
yeah.
Pictures. Beajara. And I'm like, what the fuck kind of Satanist shit is that? Me and my boy Matthew Gates was like, what the fuck is we listening to, yo? Turn that
That's
shit
his height,
off.
by the way.
What?
'Cause I saw him at the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, I know. I saw that.
But you know what? Just like life sort of.
That was one of the most amazing things about the Generation 1 CD-based game consoles.
Before we go into that,
Yeah.
it's almost Zen.
Yeah.
And it's another reason why I want you to play it, because I want your take on it based upon your experience in kung fu, or excuse me, wushu. No,
Wing Chun.
Wing Chun. Thank
Yes.
you. Wing Chun kung fu, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. My favorite saying in the entire game is relax, pretend it's a game. Maybe it'll even be fun. Shoot the tubes, dog meat. Greater words have not been said.
It's true.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's always Night Trap, too, where you have
Wow.
the fucking girl from Different Strokes running around in like a sports bra, and you were like, this is before the days of the internet, kids. So
Yeah.
you're just like, whoa.
Yeah.
This is a girl you grew up with,
And
like,
that's the type of shit where it wasn't even nude, it was lewd.
yeah.
And so many
Soft
fucking
porn.
people wanted that shit.
Not for
banned.
nothing. I mean, that was creepy as shit. The augers would come up with like a gun
Yeah.
they would stick in their necks and they
Yeah.
would draw the blood out. That's fucking creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
Let's
Without
be
a doubt.
realistic
Without
here.
a doubt.
But it was
Yeah,
worth
some sadistic
the price of admission.
Yes.
Question.
Without question.
And that and Mortal Kombat were the original games decided on when they came up with the
rating system. Yep.
for video games.
Yep.
Was Night Trap and Mortal Kombat 2.
Yep.
Mortal Kombat 2 specifically.
So I've heard a rumor, and I don't know if it's true, but that Mortal Kombat was supposed to be the life story of Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I never heard that.
Really?
Yeah, and that because that
Was he supposed to be like Johnny Cage or some shit?
exactly
Okay.
Okay.
like you see how he moves through the levels and eventually gets to the top sort of idea.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it was after, I think it was after The Quest, which he directed. And they just
Quest
couldn't-
was that early?
Yeah, it was like 94, 93, something. like
Really?
that. Yeah.
I thought it was way later than that because I know the Quest was kind of like when I saw his career going down.
Well, yeah, because he didn't realize he was not.
You know when I
bipolar.
knew his career was going downhill? When he stopped doing the spin kick finishing move.
I knew his career was going downhill when I saw. I think it was not the double thing but it was the one with "You Can Do It" guy.
Oh, Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider.
I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Yeah, and he did that with the basketball gentleman.
Yeah, Dennis Rodman. Can't think of it. I know which one you talk about. Yes.
Yeah, and he's literally slapping Jean-Claude Van Damme's ass with a fish. That I'm like, that's pretty
Done.
much.
Well, that was
Yeah.
we're done now.
Done.
Yeah, you're past jumping the shark.
I mean, at least with Double Impact,
oh, that
we
was
still
great.
had the fucking fight with Bolo Young.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who Bolo Young actually gave him such a solid one year on his birthday, where he said, "Bruce Lee, Jean-Claude Van Damme."
That's great.
Really?
Yeah,
No shit.
Did you ever see that picture that like when
Because-
they got they like just joined up for, I don't know what it was just a like maybe it was just a photo op or something, and it was on Instagram. I think JCVD actually posted it, and it was him and Bolo Young just hanging out.
Dude, like,
Yeah,
the
they've been
craziest
doing it
thing
since
about
God
that
knows
is that
when.
Bolo Young was in Enter the fucking Dragon.
Yeah,
Enter
like
the
he's
Dragon.
not young. He wasn't young in Bloodsport.
Right. No, well that's
he
the
looked
thing that
young,
clued
but
me
he
in.
wasn't.
Well,
Because, like, I
Asian
saw-
don't raisin. It's not fair.
Black
Because
don't
I saw Bloodsport before I saw Enter the Dragon.
Me too.
And I was like, wait a minute,
I
this
did
is the
not.
same fucking
And I
guy.
never knew the line, brick not hit back until I realized
Bullets
that it
don't
came.
hit back.
Yeah, that it came from Enter the Dragon
Bruce Lee,
first.
Yeah.
And I was
Bruce
like,
Lee,
oh, that was. Oh, I see. He said it instead of. Oh,
yeah.
I get it.
Oh, yeah,
I get it now.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
to clarify, that was not a phrase that he said to Bolo Young. It was to I forget-
O'Hara,
Yeah.
with the character's name. I don't remember the guy's actual
the
name.
guy that played that role was actually Bruce Lee's bodyguard.
Really?
Yeah,
No
Huh.
shit. Okay.
yeah.
And I mean, like in the film, he just mops the fucking floor with the guy.
Classic flick.
Yeah,
Classic
with
flick.
classic, and it is basically it's purely because revenge because he killed his sister.
Not for nothing. You ever see Bolo Young's kid? Like, looks just
No.
like him, and he's fucking diesel as shit.
Really?
I can't wait to see this kid in movies.
I want
That's
to see
gonna be great.
Schwarzenegger's kid in movies.
I've never
see
even seen
recently?
Schwartz's kid.
Like he did one of these poses,
And
he had
it's
the
just
same-
like, yeah,
Same
him?
physique.
Yep.
All right.
Oh
Yep.
boy.
So, like, we need to bring back the 80s era action movie. I think, like, that's what has to
Well,
come
with,
back.
with
No,
the
no,
Expendables,
no.
they kind of tried to do that.
We need to bring
Yeah,
it
but
back.
not
we need
with
to
that, but we need to do it.
improve upon.
We need to do a modern version of the 80s era action movie.
yeah.
Because that is what fans are kind of, I think they're clamoring for. I think that's what we want to see.
We're done with the Don Quixote. We want the
Yeah.
Paragon.
Yes.
And that's my problem with Prodigy. Is I was so excited from the beginning that they were just going to have this paragon of a human, like in Doc Savage or in like Flint. But now they're setting him up for it to be another Don Quixote, which is the. I'm going to spoil it for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, please don't say another word. I'll catch up by like next week, and then we can talk about it. And you know what? Let come back when issue 4 drops.
Okay.
And we'll talk about it then. And we'll
Roger.
talk about because we had a nice stint of our ongoing series, what we loved, Ramon and I, on the last episode of Pete's Basement. Hopefully you guys saw it. And we just dropped on the regular channel the Pete's Basement at the Brooklyn PowCon. Hopefully you guys caught that. We had a great interview with Sal Omedico, who was the proprietor, the creator of Brooklyn PowCon. And he's also a really great graphic artist. So I picked up this awesome Jason Voorhees picture that he did. Check this out, guys.
Oh yeah, the bloody hands.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's a fucking really awesome artist. So I picked this up. I got to yet to get a frame for it.
No, not another 47th cut. No.
So go check that out. That's Pete's Basement and Brooklyn PowCon, and make sure you catch last week's episode. That's this is episode 5, so season 12, episode 4, where we talked to. Actually, they talked to us. The second rounders come to us and they ask us who. Basically, it's just a whole podcast about who you got in a fight, and they talk to us about who would win in a fight between Brainiac and Ganon from Legend of Zelda. And we have a lot of fun with that. And we're looking forward to a great crossover with these guys. They're awesome. They're from Brooklyn, so we're going to get them on the show. We're going to go on their show, and hopefully you guys get to
Brooklyn
see
Ganon
both
versus-
of them.
Brooklyn Ganon.
We had a
versus
lot of fun
this
at Brooklyn
Brainiac.
Comic Con, and hopefully you guys get to watch that episode. Make
So
sure
wait.
you go on.
Is it Brainiac 12 or is it Brainiac?
Is it the
1?
new Brainiac?
New
Whatever,
Brainiac.
new Brainiac.
Okay, sorry.
Fair enough.
So, last but not least, Once again, thank you to all of the patrons for Patreon. And if you want to subscribe, we got a bunch of great new tiers. For a simple $1 a month, you get your name on the website on Pete'sBasement.com/Patreon, and you'll see the names of all of the Patreons and this awesome little 8-bit image that Roger put together. And for a simple $3 a month, you get your name in the credits on the Pete's Basement episodes. And if you're listening to the audio, I'll actually say like everybody's names, because obviously you can't see them if you're just listening to it, so I read them all out after every episode.
That's not why you do it. You do it because you want to be like the Medicis. You want to support the arts.
That too.
Bingo.
For $4 a month, you get your name in the credits, and you get an awesome Pete's Basement signed postcard by all of us. For $10 a month, you get your name in the credits, highlighted on a special Pete's Basement Bosom Buddies page. Because what's better than tits?
But nothing
bosoms,
is.
bosoms.
Yeah. Bosoms.
And you get your fucking autograph card, and you get a special signed sketch. Your choice between an Eskimo, a dragon, a unicorn, or a dragon, an elf, an Eskimo, or a transgender unicorn. That was Hannah's idea. So yeah, let us know which one you want, and we're working on new and better patron tiers every week. So if there's something that you want that we're not showcasing yet, let us know, and we'll be happy to put it up there.
I want Godzilla eating a transgender.
I don't know if I can. I mean, I'm not that talented an artist, man. But maybe we'll try it out. We'll try it out.
I might have to try.
Pour me a shot.
Fuck you. I might have to try that.
So.
Well, here, just pour
finally
part of that in there, because I'm done.
Shut up.
Pour that in there.
No, just drink the fucking shot. You need to pour that in there, and you can have one more.
No,
I'm a bad influence. It's what I do.
You are terrible.
I'm a horrible human being.
You are a horrible human being.
I poured some of it in there.
Shithead.
I love you. Lastly,
I love you too. I don't know why, but I do.
Make sure you get on represent.com/store/Pete's Basement and order yourself a Pete's Basement t-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
We have the regular awesome Pete's Basement t-shirt. We have the summer edition Pete's Basement t-shirt with the hot neon colors and everything, and all the bright colors.
Version?
We have tank top versions, yes, of the Pete's Basement tank tops. We also have the Pete's Basement supports the Hero Initiative, which is one of the greatest charities in the comics industry.
Yes,
all of the profits go toward the Hero Initiative, which helps to support old school artists and writers in their time of need. You know, if they need medical bills or whatever else have you, Hero Initiative helps out. We also have Pete's Basement supports Project Harmony, and Pete's Basement supports our veterans, and all of the sales of those t-shirts go to Project Harmony and Mobility for Heroes, respectively. And finally, we have a brand new tier. We have the Pete's Basement Rick Sellis t-shirts, where we have the Pete and Ramon Amazing Fantasy 15 homage.
Yep.
And half of that gets to the comic shop.
Yes.
Half of that gets split between us and Rick Sellis, because credit to the artist where it is due, and we love Rick and we love his work. And if you're not following at Rick Sellis yet, go do it now.
Somebody please finance him to make like
everything.
The animated series part 2 or something.
Yes, because he's that good.
Yeah.
He's that good.
He is.
And we've got so many new ideas for t-shirts that are coming very, very soon. I promise you, within, it's February now, so by March we'll have some new t-shirts up for you. But remember, if you order a shirt, any shirt at all, send us a photo of yourself in the shirt, and we're going to post it up right here on Pete's Basement on the show, and we're going to thank you personally, because that's what we do. All it takes is a quick $20 to represent.com and order yourself a Pete's Basement shirt and represent, obviously, the greatest and longest running podcast about comic books ever.
Yeah. Perhaps they could put themselves in a Rocket t-shirt.
They could put themselves in a Rocket t-shirt. How do they get Rocket t-shirts?
Through... Oh, God, he's going to kill me.
I've put you on the spot, sir.
Yes, indeed. So Keith Thomas runs Unlock Potential T-shirts, and he actually put a preliminary T-shirt for our upcoming launch, the Cowbell.
Which I love the name.
Yes.
I absolutely love the name.
We have to explore the space with a cowbell on this one. And God knows we need more cowbell.
We always need more cowbell.
Guess what? I got a fever, and the only prescription is more
cowbell.
And that one was great, but this time we need more cowbell. So either search Keith Thomas and Unlock Potential, or Rocket Star Space on Instagram, Rocket Star Space on YouTube, or Twitter. I think it's at Rocket Star Space as well, and rocketstar.nyc. We should have launch ready T-shirts coming up soon because, oh god, actually this is exclusive to Pete's Basement because we haven't put it on Twitter just yet. Because of the government shutdown, we were pushed to a later date from February 7th, which was yesterday, for our suborbital launch of our Aerospike-powered rocket. That's right, you heard it right. A 32-foot rocket that Pete's Basement has supported since the beginning, back in 2015, has now been pushed to February 28th. So if anybody is available to go down to Cape Canaveral or the Orlando area that wants to see a rocket go up, that will make history, because this will make history. It is the first single stage to orbit Aerospike-powered rocket that will reach 50 miles up. The only other time this has happened is never, and the rocket engine has gone only 50,000 feet beforehand. We're going 50 miles up.
So how is this going to come back down? Parachute? It's going to fall?
Like a dead weight until about, I think, I want to say 14 kilometers, but that's not right. We're actually going to take a solid rocket motor and pop out the nose cone after the parachutes deploy, so that we can recover our data to show that we actually have video of the curvature of the Earth.
That's wild.
That's awesome.
So that should put the flat earthers to rest.
No.
Nothing will put the flat earthers to rest because they are believing a troll. The whole camp is based off of a troll.
I've researched flat Earth extensively because I like to know these things, and what I've discerned is they're basically a religious cult.
Yes.
So
that
in and of itself.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what kind of evidence you present them.
They have a lot of interesting evidence.
Their belief will sustain them.
There's a lot going on there that they may be on the wrong path, but there's a lot that's very interesting. They're hiding something from us in Antarctica, and I don't know what yet, but they'll find out.
No, they're not. Stop with
Sure, they are. No, they are. They definitely are.
The Iron Dome is not real.
No, the dome is not real, but I'm saying, but there's definitely something there. It's probably the hollow Earth instead. There's probably lizard people running around and controlling the government and
says,
stuff.
if you want good enjoyment, find the anti-vax people on Reddit.
You honestly can't tell because I mean, how often do you really look at people when they blink, and if they blink this way or this way, you don't know.
No, we don't.
Exactly.
It is a syllogism.
They could be the lizard people.
Yes, indeed.
They're probably lizard people.
Nictitating membranes.
All right,
so
we got a little battery on the mic. So.
Yeah, no, we're at 20%. We're good.
We're good. You cannot reason with irrational.
Very true. Just like you can't fix crazy or stupid.
That's correct.
However, I do encourage all of you to research Admiral Richard Byrd and come to your own conclusions about what the fuck is going on in Antarctica.
Shackleton proved all that shit.
Oh, stop your shit. I'm not saying there's a dome above us. I'm just saying that maybe the Earth is hollow and maybe there's lizard people running around. What?
Hashtag Irish guy.
Guys, thanks for tuning in. It's been a great show. We love you guys immensely. Help us control the pet population by having your pets spayed or neutered or some shit. I don't even
Barker,
know.
really?
Fucking Bob Barker is the man. When you were home from school, were you not watching The Price is Right?
Of course.
Goddamn right you were.
I was watching him beat up, what's his name?
What?
when he beat up.
Oh, Adam Sandler.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Adam?
The price is wrong, bitch. And just please go on Pete's Basement Patreon, petesbasement.com/Patreon, and contribute if you can, and we will put your name in highlights. And go on represent.com/store/Pete's Basement and pick up a Pete's Basement tee. Send us your picture in said Pete's Basement tee, and we will post it up here. And hit us up, questions at petesbasement.com/Facebook. What was it? Petesbasement.com. Questions at petesbasement.com/ Wait a minute, I'm still drunk.
Facebook.com/Pete's Basement.
Instagram, Twitter, etc. at Pete's Basement. Thanks.
Don't we have people for that? What happened?
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
Shit.
I'm just drunk, and I usually get it, but this is like the second week in a row that I fucked it up. So thanks, cuz.
Roger!
It's all Roger's fault!
It is.
It's all fucking Roger's fault. Well, let's drink to that. Fuck you, Roger! We'll see you next week.
Oh, yeah.
Pete's Basement is copyrighted 2019. Ripped Productions. All rights reserved, so go fuck yourself. I love that I spent 3-4 days last week organizing the basement, getting everything nice and clean, getting everything situated, and I come home today and the gas company had to put a fucking hole in my wall, and to get at it, what do you think they had to do? They had to move all of the comics. Oh, there's a chair and some comics in the way, and there's a table and some comics in the way, and there's another 3 boxes, 4 boxes of comics in the way, and everything's moved out of the way, and there's it. Well, Thanos was here, and everything's out of the whole fucking comic book shelf is out of the way, and there is the hole that the gas company left that now I gotta go to Home Depot and buy a plate to cover. And all of this is some kind of result of that big Con Edison explosion